situation arise, I guess.
Well, I guess...
Are you not for God?
No, I'm an atheist.
Okay. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, so do you by chance have an argument for the proposition God exists?
Yes. I think if you follow the origin of the universe, logically, you need God to exist.
So, okay, so what's the argument?
So, basically, when you really think about it, there's 4 explanations for the universe. 1, reality is an illusion. 2, the universe was self-created. 3, the universe is eternal. And 4, the universe has an eternal creator. So, if we go through the first one, reality being an illusion, this is what a lot of Eastern religions believe. And I'll give you actually a source that's actually this is where I kind of learned it, but
I just want to get clear what's I just want to get clear what's the argument. So for clarity, I think what I'm asking for when I ask for an argument is strictly a logical sense of argument, which is going to be like deductive, like a premise, conclusion. Instead of premises and conclusion.
So we're done with the first possibility of reality being an illusion. Right.
So wait, I just want to get clear.
Something to prove it doesn't.
I just want to get clear on what the argument is.
So you're thinking about the origins of the universe, right?
Wait, can you say like P1 so I'm clear on the argument structure?
Sure.
Okay, so premise
out of the 4 things, P1 would be, premise 1 would be reality is an illusion, right? Premise 2 would be reality was self-created, right? The universe was self-created. It created itself, right? Premise 3 is there is an eternal universe, right? So the universe has no beginning. It always existed. And premise 4 is that the universe had an eternal creator, meaning it was created. Whatever created was eternal.
Yeah, so obviously 2 of those premises just entails contradiction.
Right.
Yeah, so that's... So can you... Yeah, I don't understand. You're saying right, like you're intending to make like a false argument, like an invalid argument.
I don't think you've even heard my argument yet. I'm saying there's 4 possibilities of how you could explain the origins
so
of the universe.
Look, if you're not giving me the argument yet, can you now begin to give me the argument? That's what I asked for. I don't know what you were responding to.
Yes, you wanted me to lay it out for you, so I was laying it out for you.
Yeah, so I asked you what's premise 1, and then you responded.
Premise 1.
Okay, so premise 1 is?
So with reality being an illusion, right? So to prove that something exists or something doesn't exist, it has to at first prove it exists in order to prove not. Right? In order for something to be experiencing the illusion, you have to be in the illusion.
Wait, okay, look,
you can't just
acknowledge the illusion and be in the illusion. You keep doing this issue where you derail from like giving me very strictly an argument. What I'm asking is for like a set of premises and a conclusion in which the premises are just going to be atomic propositions that contain operators, right? Like material operators. Like I'm talking about like basic rudimentary propositional logic, right? I want a deductive argument. What you're giving me is not like a formal argument. So I'm going to try and I can work with you to try and formalize your argument. But right now it's not even clear like how I'm going to like formalize this argument. It doesn't even seem like you're giving me clearly an argument. So I just want to try again. Premise 1 is what? Reality is an illusion. Okay. Wait, so you take it that reality is an illusion?
I'm saying we're discussing the possibilities.
No, look, but what I want is an argument with the conclusion that exists. Obviously, if you don't take it to be true, that the universe or the world, or whatever, is an illusion, why are you baking that into your argument? Right?
Okay.
You're already like obviously an argument that infers a conclusion.
Again, the most basic question, right? Why do we have something rather than nothing at all? Okay. Because we're in the universe, we need to acknowledge why does the universe exist? That is what I'm trying to answer here. You're asking me to give an argument for God.
This is an argument for God. God exists.
Yes, we're working through it.
Okay, so premise 1 is?
So premise 1 is reality. It's an illusion.
Okay, so you take it that reality is an illusion.
No,
why are you building that in? Okay, so that doesn't have to be contained in the argument. I don't understand. Like
there are 4 possible answers to why we have something rather than nothing at all.
So
the 4 answers are reality is an illusion, reality is or was self-created, reality is self-existent, so eternal, or reality was created by something that is self-existent.
Okay, so in order, so you understand.
You can't get out of that.
Yeah, so what you would have to do is make premise 1 P or Q or R or S. That's what you would have to make premise 1. So you would have to make premise 1 either reality is an illusion, or reality was created by itself, or whatever other disjunctions you've like said, and that would be premise 1. I don't know why you didn't tell me that would be premise 1. You're not clearly giving me an argument. It's like super hard to like capture what you're saying and trying to like regiment it. So yeah, so obviously premise 1 isn't reality is an illusion. You don't take that to be true. So obviously that's not going to be a premise in your argument. Yeah, so what we're going to start with is the disjunction between the 4 disjuncts, right? So that would mean there's 3 disjunctions. And then premise 2 would probably be like not the rest of the disjuncts other than 1, and then the conclusion is one of those. Yeah, so that was very clear. I don't know why you didn't make that. That wasn't hard to say, but look. So the first one is reality is an illusion, or reality is what?
Created.
Self-created.
Created. Or reality is self-existent, so eternal, it didn't have a beginning. Or reality was created by something that is self-existent, an eternal creator. Okay? Are we on the same page here?
Hold on. Hold on. Okay, so premise 2 is?
That's what I'm rolling through. That's the 4 possibilities for why we have something rather than nothing at all.
Okay, so
going through the first 3 possibilities, it's only logical that we have an eternal creator. So that's what I'm trying to work through. This is a logical argument for God. That's what you were asking me.
Yeah, I know what
right?
Yep.
Conclusive argument for God.
Hold on.
Okay. So going through the first possibility, reality is an illusion. Okay. This is what a lot of Eastern religions believe. However, it was ruled out centuries ago by Rene Descartes, who said, I think, therefore I am. If you're thinking, you have to be. Like, you can't be in an illusion if you're thinking. Illusions require something experiencing the illusion, and you can't doubt the existence of yourself without first proving your existence. It's a self-defeating argument, right? So reality being an illusion is not a thing. So we go on to the next thing, okay? Reality being creating itself. This can't be a
Hold on,
thing
I'm still
either,
just writing out the
because...
argument. Okay, so now I have the full argument. So the argument's just going to be P or Q or R or S. P2 is not P, not Q, and not R. So conclusion's S. So in the first argument, obviously I'm just going to reject the disjunction, right, or the four disjuncts. I don't think, obviously that's not like exhausting the possibility space for alternatives. But premise 2, so reality is an illusion. I mean, here, let me think about how I'm going to, obviously what you mean by reality is just the set of things that are real, right? The set of real things.
Yes, the universe, the air you breathe, reality, the things you see around you, things you're in.
Okay, so when you say reality is an illusion, what would that mean?
Mean it's not real.
That we're misperceiving reality? That's how it would be interpreted, right? Because illusion, okay.
Here's the question we are trying to answer. Why is there something rather than nothing?
Okay, yeah, you've already said that.
That's
You
the
need to
question
repeat
I'm trying to answer.
that. So
I'm just making sure we're on the same page.
I don't know what it means for something to be self-created.
Meaning literally like I made, or the universe made itself, basically.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. That sounds like gibberish.
Exactly.
Okay,
It doesn't
so
make
why?
any sense.
Okay, so it's not even a possible alternative. So why would you put that?
It's going through the possibility.
But that's
If
not.
you create yourself, then
that's-
you must have existed prior to you creating yourself.
If you're going through the possibilities, and one of the possibilities is not a possibility, then it's not in a set of possibilities. That's what would exclude it from the possibility space. That's like common sense. So it's not going to be the case it's logically possible. Thus, it's not going to be within the set of disjunctions that are possible alternatives for explaining the universe. Right? It's not going to be possible. So when you said it's going to be a possibility, it's not. It's logically incoherent. It's not going to be a possibility. So we can rule that out.
We're looking at creation. Okay, these are the possibilities. They're not the actual things that are happening.
Wait, so
Look at creation.
you take it.
Created. Created.
Hold on, look, but you take it
Creation
that.
always existed. It was something
Okay,
that
but look,
creation.
you're talking too much. You gotta listen. Look, so you take it that it's possible that the universe created itself under any modal scope. Do you take it's possible? Yeah. Do you
The
think?
universe created itself?
Yeah. Do you think it's possible under any modal scope?
I don't believe it is possible.
Okay, so then why would you include it?
That's the point.
You believe it until contradiction, right? It's not going to be possible. Okay, great. So we can just take that out of there.
Yes,
That was
it's
irrelevant.
ruling out the possibility, yes. So we're left with two options, okay? There's either an eternal universe, and the universe has always existed, or there's a universe being made by an eternal creator. Okay?
Hold on. I'm just trying to rewrite the argument because you randomly added something that was irrelevant to the argument.
I've been very clear about what I was going to talk about.
The argument was not. It's not clear why you would put in something that's not possible within the possibility space. That isn't clear to me. No, it's not. So now that we took it out of the possibility space because you're trying to make a set of possibilities that explain the universe, and one of the possibilities aren't a possibility, so it wouldn't be contained in the possibility space for possible alternatives, right? So you just added something redundant in the mix. That was just like trivially like false. Now we have P or Q or R. There's no S anymore. So now it's reality is an illusion. Reality self-exists, which presumably means just existed eternally, or the created by some other self-existent thing, which I don't know what that means, but so now P2 is, not P and not Q, and the conclusions are. So, yeah, why is it the case reality is not an illusion?
I'm sorry, please repeat that?
Yeah, so what's the argument for P2? That, it's not an illusion and it's not the case that existed eternally.
You have to be experiencing the illusion, right? You can't first prove something doesn't exist without first proving it exists.
I'm not, so are you saying that the proposition reality is an illusion is false?
Yeah.
Okay, and what's the argument that reality being an illusion is false?
For God here.
I know, I didn't ask you that question, and I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be having this conversation if I didn't know what you're arguing for. So now I want to get clear. What's the argument that reality is not an illusion?
Get on the same page. I get you're trying to debate. We're both humans.
We are on the same page. Maybe you're not. I don't know if you're not tracking, but
Something.
I don't know. You're telling me you're debating for the proposition God exists. I think I'm very clear. Right? I wrote out the formal arguments right in front of my face. Right? And I read it out, and the conclusion was obviously that the universe was created by some self-existent thing. So I'm pretty sure I understand the argument. I don't know why you're telling me the conclusion of your argument if I can see it right in front of me. So now, can I just get clear? What's the argument that reality is not an illusion?
Okay. So Rene Descartes said, "I think, therefore I am."
Rene Descartes. Yeah.
Pretty much means I think, therefore I am not an illusion. Okay. Illusions require something experiencing the illusion.
No,
You
look,
cannot doubt the existence of yourself without proving your existence.
No, look, what Rene argues is merely the fact that it can't be the case that you don't exist, given that non-existence is going to be an ontological negative that possesses no constitutives, but it's going to be the case that we experience, so therefore we have mental states, and of course mental states are not going to be constitutive in non-existence, therefore it's the case I exist, merely from the fact that I think. It doesn't talk about illusion. Descartes in his meditations never mentions illusion. He merely argues for the fact that it's not possible we don't exist, right? Or for the particular agent possessing their own particular mental states is impossible. In fact, Descartes denies what you just said, right? He's the one who created Cartesian skepticism, right? He's the one who created
Okay, so you just
like
said
robust skepticism. You know, like
he denies. Okay.
yeah, he denies
So
robust
he
skepticism
denies that.
and global skepticism. He doesn't. He takes the view that he could be, you know, some demon can be messing with his like cognitive faculties, to which he's not perceiving reality accurately, or something like that. Right? He's the one who created Cartesian skepticism. Right? It's in the name. This is the view he promoted, that we don't know anything. We could be, you know, systematically deceived on a like robust skeptical level. Right? All Descartes argues is that it's not the case. You know, the particular mental states that an agent themselves is acquainted with can be compatible with their non-existence, given non-existence wouldn't attribute any properties. And it's the case that even if we were to experience false things, right, so even if we had a reality that was an illusion, it still implies that we exist, given non-existence wouldn't possess any features. And I have features of experience, I have mental content, whether or not those mental contents or experiences are true.
Right.
Obviously, there has to be something there to experience them, whether true or false. He promotes the idea that, you know, our experience of reality can be an illusion very clearly. He argues that. Like, have you ever heard of Cartesian's demon? Or Descartes' demon?
I have not. I'm going at this from a logic perspective.
Okay, well,
if you're experiencing the illusion, I mean, you can make the argument we're in a simulation, but it's not that reality is an illusion. We're very cognitive of what we're in. We understand the existence of ourselves. We can understand we exist among other people. Things happen.
wait, so by that expression,
Prove the
reality...
existence of something not existing without first realizing it exists in the first place.
Oh, well, that doesn't follow, but... what you merely mean by reality is an illusion is that we experience, like, illusory of what reality is? Like, we just don't accurately perceive reality? Is that what that's saying? When we say reality is an illusion? It's just wrongly perceived?
Basically, yes. Like, reality is fake. Like, what you're experiencing isn't real. Basically, what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, so what's the argument that what I'm experiencing isn't real? Or is real, rather?
Because I'm trying to prove something doesn't exist. To prove something doesn't exist, I have to first prove the existence. How can I prove I don't exist myself if I don't first acknowledge my own
Again, what I'm asking for is a deductive argument.
not me in an illusion.
So can I just get, because the first time around you didn't do this, can I get a clear premise 1, premise 2, conclusion, like, inform me on which premises they are, don't ramble for 2 minutes and have me try to, like, pick up the pieces and try and put together what you're saying, because nothing of what you're saying seems like an argument like you did the first time. So, yeah, so the argument against what we perceive being an illusion, the argument for that is, premise 1 is?
Okay. So beginning with reality being an illusion, I'm going to try to be very concise, okay? It's what a number of Eastern religions believe. It was ruled out by the quote from Rene Descartes, I think, therefore I am. It's a very real quote.
Wait. Do you understand how a premise works? Because right now what you're not giving me is the contents of the first premise. Do you know how, like, a logical argument works?
I believe so, but please enlighten me.
Okay, so you understand an argument can have atomic propositions and operators in between, like, you know, if P then Q, something like that. So all you're going to merely say is a proposition, right, contained in the premise.
Yes,
right?
I think, therefore I am, therefore I'm not an illusion. It's a very clear premise that proves this isn't a thing.
So if I think, then I'm not an illusion. That's the first premise.
Yes.
Okay, so what you know, before I stopped you, were kind of like going way beyond that. You could have just made that clear. That's what the first premise is.
It was my point. That was the point I was actually on. But it's okay. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. Let's work together to understand this.
Yeah, so if I experience, or if I think, then I'm not an illusion. I think, conclusion, I'm not an illusion. Or do you mean I'm not in an illusion?
I'm not an illusion.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm just going to reject the first premise. I don't see why I would accept that conditional if I think that I'm not an illusion, right? There's no contradiction in me saying I think I'm not in an illusion, or I am in an illusion, sorry.
Okay, I think you might be arguing for more, like, you might be in a simulation or something like that, or living in an illusion. That's not exactly what I'm arguing.
Then what are you arguing?
I think, therefore, I am not an illusion personally. I'm not an illusion. Okay?
I don't know what it means for me, so I don't know what that means. I'm not an illusion?
Illusions require something experiencing the illusion. And you cannot doubt the existence of yourself without proving your existence in the first place.
Yeah, you've already said that. That's not what I'm asking. What I'm asking is, what you're saying when you say, I'm not an illusion, I don't know what that means, because what an illusion is something that's wrongly perceived from the senses, or something like that. And I'm not an illusion means I'm not wrongly perceived from the senses. Like, of course, someone else can misperceive me, right? They can be they can be in an illusory state and perceive me as an illusion, or something like that, right? They can have an illusion of me, or something like that. I don't know what it means to say I'm not an illusion. Do you mean, like, I'm not, if I think that I'm not experiencing an illusion? Because both of those seem like false. Like, I can think, you know, I can exist, you know, I think therefore I am, could be true. And it's the case, I can either be an illusion, which just means I'm wrongly perceived by some other agent, and it can also be true, you know, I think therefore I am, and I'm misperceiving, and I still exist. So both of those are, like, just not true.
So we're arguing for something being real, something existing, not if we're perceiving it in the way that it should be perceived.
An illusion doesn't mean
it exists. It's real.
Wait,
it's tangible.
again, to say it,
physical.
then why? But what you should say is not an illusion, because an illusion is just a misperceptive state. What you should say is not real, right? Because if I exist, of course you can either be an illusion or perceive an illusion, and still think therefore I am, right? You can still obviously exist and either be experienced by some other agent as an illusion, or yourself experience an illusion. There's no contradiction in both of those. Both of those are possible and have a number of accounts, incidences, and evidence in light of those two propositions that, you know, in the actual world. So now I have no idea what you're arguing. So don't know what it means to say reality is an illusion. I don't think you even know what you're saying by that. Let's just take that out completely from like the initial argument, because I don't think saying reality is an illusion makes any sense from your account, and I don't think you can really articulate it well to make it sound coherent. So let's just go back to the beginning, the drawing board. So we're just going to have a single disjunction, which is either the universe self-exists or is created by some self-existing thing. It's not the case the universe self-exists, therefore the universe is created by some other self-existing entity or whatever. So the universe, yes, I don't see again why it's except the first premise, nor the second. Well, maybe
being reality being illusion or being self-created.
Maybe the first premise.
Or something different.
Wait, can you repeat that?
Are you talking the premises of reality being illusion or being self-created?
No, I threw out the reality's an illusion because that makes no sense, right? And your account didn't make any sense of it. It didn't seem like it was going anywhere. So I just took that out of the argument that reality is an illusion. So now we're just with two disjuncts. You know, the universe self-exists, or the universe is created by something that self-exists. And then premise 2 is the universe does not self-exist. Conclusion: the universe was created by something that does self-exist. So yeah, I mean, maybe the first one is a dichotomy. If all you mean by self-exist is not created, so it's going to be the universe is not created or the universe is created, right? That can be written as a dichotomy. All right, so yeah, what's the argument for P2? The universe is not created.
Okay, so based on what I've said, okay, we know that something exists. Nothing cannot create something, so we need a necessary and eternal something to exist. Can we both agree there?
No, what I'm asking right now for is the argument that the universe is not created.
Yes, so we need an internal thing, either the universe or a creator that made the universe. Okay.
Well, what's the argument that the universe is not created? That's what I'm asking for right now.
So we can look for the universe not being eternal. We can look towards science and philosophy. Okay.
Okay. Well, of course, science wouldn't say anything about that, obviously.
About the universe having a beginning, it actually would point to it having a beginning.
Well, in some sense, of course, there's going to be. Hold on. Stop talking. Why do you keep rambling? Look, I'm trying to say stop because you're wrong. So first, obviously, science doesn't talk about there being a universe that's created, right? In some sense, of course, science is going to point to there being a beginning of the universe, but that's not going to be in a metaphysical sense, right? So obviously, science is
empirical from the scientific data.
Yeah, so obviously, science is going to talk about. I don't know. You keep. Yeah, so of course, science is going to talk about the universe being created. Like, that's not even a scientific claim. That's, of course, a philosophical claim. So that's going to be outside of the pedagogical scope of science. Because science doesn't talk about things that exist or come into existence or stop persisting, you know, and stuff like that. That's not what science talks about. So what we're talking about when we say the universe comes into existing is going to be metaphysics, particularly metaphysics and philosophy, right? Ontology. So of course we can take out science. Science isn't going to talk about anything about the universe starting to exist. Now it talks about this. You know, of course, the universe has a beginning in some sense, not in a metaphysical sense. It doesn't talk about the universe having a beginning to its existence. Science doesn't even talk about things that exist. It just merely talks about phenomena.
Yes, we're referring to the phenomena.
Yeah, but phenomena isn't.
Okay, we're not talking about
for clarity, phenomena isn't what exists. It's just.
Right.
Yeah, so for clarity, like, phenomena isn't that which exists. Phenomena is that which is phenomenologically perceived, right? Some phenomenological data we have access to. That's what a phenomena is. Again, phenomena can, like, obviously.
We can deduce the universe had a beginning from evidence from the scientific data we have collected.
No, I just explained how that's outside of the scientific scope. You understand, if I say a professional artist solved the greatest mathematical theorem in all of history that no mathematician in 10 years can solve, it's just wrong, right? It's outside of an artist's scope to do so. Now, it's possible, you know, an artist does that. If they actually are smarter, they'll pretty much be a mathematician. Obviously, art is not in the pedagogy, or mathematics such as that is not going to be in the pedagogy of art. So it doesn't make sense to say an artist, you know, discover something like that. That makes zero sense. Or like an artist made a breakthrough in biology.
All really is
like what?
Data. Okay? When you look at science, all really is data. You can't make beliefs in science. I agree with you there. However, from science, we can deduce, hey, from this data, from this evidence, we know things about the universe.
What do you, you know, whatever you're saying, like, I don't know what you think you're telling me right now that's, like, relevant. Like, what do you think you're telling me right now that's relevant?
It's relating to exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, what I'm at.
Or am I just lost?
Oh, so all you're saying is that
you're talking to a kindergartner. I might be
so all you're saying is that you're agreeing with me?
I'm saying science is like, it's evidence, right? Because you're saying from the scientific standpoint, making a belief of, oh, from this data, you can't deduce, like, oh, it's because of this, like, it started this or whatever. That's different. That's forming a
I just want you to get clear. I just want you to get very clear that no scientific evidence is going to point to something beginning to exist. Are you clear about that?
There is heavy evidence to suggest that the universe had.
I just want an answer to my question. Are you clear on the fact that no scientific evidence would ever point to something beginning to exist?
Like, it couldn't make a conclusive claim that something began to exist, or it couldn't prove.
Again, all I'm asking is, do you understand that no scientific evidence?
Clarify what you're trying to say.
Okay, so what are you not clear about in the question?
Are you saying, from a scientific standpoint, from the data that we collect,
there's no evidence that something begins to exist, is what I'm saying, right? Yeah, there's not going to be any evidence in science that something begins to exist. That's all I'm saying. I don't know it.
There's evidence that supports the claim. Evidence that helps prove the claim.
So yeah, I don't know responding to that. I just want a yes or no. Are you clear on the fact that no scientific evidence would point to something beginning to exist?
I don't think science.
That's a yes or no question.
In its purest form of science. Yeah, but the way you're wording it, I'm trying to explain what I believe. Okay.
We'll start with a yes or no, and then
when you look at science.
Explain
it's
after
data, empirical.
Okay, but just start with the yes or no.
The way you're wording it, I can't just say yes or no. I have to clarify. You're talking to a human here, please.
No, you can. Yeah, I know, but you can answer yes or no first, then clarify.
Okay. Okay. Repeat the question.
Yeah. Do you understand the fact that no scientific evidence would point to there being something that begins to exist? No scientific evidence would point to something beginning to exist.
Points. Please clarify.
Indicates. Suggest. Evidence, right? Evidence is just gonna. Yeah. So there's not gonna be any evidence in light of the proposition X entity or X object began to exist. There's not gonna be such thing as scientific evidence for such propositions.
Okay, for something specifically beginning to exist, or no science is going to point towards any sort of theory or putting into like this thing happens because of X, Y, Z.
I don't know.
Specifically beginning to exist. Is that what?
Yeah. So what I'm saying is I don't know. You're not like what you're hung up on. What I'm just listen and just I don't. Jesus Christ. All I'm saying is no scientific evidence would promote the idea that something begins to exist. Do you still need clarity on something? No scientific evidence would promote the idea something begins to exist?
Yes, I would say evidence does point to that.
To something beginning to exist.
Scientific standpoint say for certain, for sure, this means this thing began to exist.
Hold on.
No.
Hold on, stop talking. Oh my god, you keep, hold on, stop talking though. What I'm asking you is, yeah, so what I'm asking you is what you're answering yes to the fact, look, I don't even know if you said yes or no, because you just keep rambling. I just want a clear answer so I can engage, but you keep talking too much. Just answer, do you understand the fact that no scientific evidence, or do you deny the fact that no scientific evidence would promote the idea that something begins to exist? You promote or deny that? I mean, accept or deny that?
For promote, yes, I would say it promotes the idea.
Okay, so you deny the fact no scientific evidence would indicate or promote the idea that something begins to exist? That'd be a yes, right?
Trying to say it, then yes.
Okay, so you know you're just blatantly wrong.
It could be misinterpreted.
Yeah, so you understand you're blatantly wrong, right? Because science doesn't deal with what exists.
Also, it promotes. It's evidence for it.
It can't. No, it can't promote. No, again, it cannot. Again, it cannot promote that which is outside of its pedagogical scope. It's outside, completely outside the field of study, right? There's not going to be evidence for something that's not in the domain of science. That's why. Yes, you understand. Science doesn't talk about that which what exists. Again, I don't know you're talking to me. Look, hold on.
Please try
and yeah, so I'm trying to have you get clear because you have a misconception of science that science doesn't talk about that which exists.
And in my rambling, I explicitly called out that fact. Okay, that's why I kept doing that, because the way you were wording it was a very loaded question. And it was very
I didn't ask any loaded question. It was literally, what do you think a loaded question is? What do you think a loaded question is?
Do that. It's impossible.
I don't know why you constantly overtalk. Do you like mute me and then continue to talk or something? Like, I don't understand why you're constantly overtalking.
I think you're hearing my point.
No, your point's confused.
It seems like you keep trying to trap me when you're not trying to work with me. That's what it feels like.
I'm trying to. Yeah, you are wrong. You're very wrong. I'm trying to explain how you're entirely confused and don't know what you're talking about. So I just want you to get clear. Science doesn't talk about matters of existence. Great. So of course science isn't going to promote something outside of its pedagogical scope. Nothing in the domain of science includes anything of the matter of existence. So there's not going to be such thing as evidence to something outside of science. Of course there's not going to be evidence that something begins to exist if science doesn't talk about existence. Understand?
I believe so.
Okay. So, of course, whatever you're going to argue about saying that there's scientific evidence is just false, because it's not going to be the case. It's within the scientific scope to have evidence for existence. There's
no indicator at all. Like, we can't even call it into account of any possibility of how the universe began to exist.
It doesn't talk about matters of existence.
Because it can't. But it can help promote the claim of how things began to exist.
So what?
We know things happen and things exist because of the scientific data.
No, science doesn't talk about things that exist. It talks about phenomena. All of our phenomena. Yeah, it doesn't. All of our phenomena can just not exist.
The phenomena of the universe.
Yeah, but phenomena isn't that which exists.
Look at the origins of the universe.
Again, I just said.
We're thousands of years from the origins of the universe.
Yeah, so, oh my god. So phenomena isn't that which exists, to be clear. Phenomena isn't that which exists. Phenomena cannot exist. Right? We can have phenomena of stuff that doesn't actually exist. So it's not the case any phenomena is going to indicate towards something existing. Again, existence is outside of the pedagogical scope of science, because science doesn't talk about what exists. That's philosophy, particularly ontology, the doctrine in metaphysics.
Science is the natural observation of the world around us. How does it not talk about things that exist?
Because it talks about phenomena. Phenomena isn't that which exists. All of our phenomena can just be things that don't exist. Again, I just said that. Of course.
From a naturalistic standpoint, we have to talk about things that exist, because anything that doesn't exist would be outside.
What are you not understanding? No, listen. Phenomena isn't that which exists. Do you understand that? Phenomena isn't defined as that which exists. Phenomena is that which is going to be phenomenologically perceived. Right? We're just going to have phenomenological datum of.
You're using the same word to define a word. What exactly is phenomena?
That isn't the same word. Phenomenological isn't phenomena.
phenomenologically defined to describe phenomena. That sounds like the same word.
Sorry, what?
You said phenomena is whatever is phenomenologically defined.
No,
that's not the same word.
That's not what I said first. What I said phenomena is that which is phenomenologically perceived. Phenomena is just phenomenal datum, right? Phenomenological datum. Phenomena and phenomenological are two different terms. Of course, they're going to be related.
To be phenomenologically perceived. What does that mean? What exactly is that?
That we perceive it through our cognitive faculties. Like, duh. Of course, science doesn't talk about if we're in, again, like we said in the beginning of this conversation, Cartesian skepticism. It could be the case, we're in a brain in a vat, we're in a dream, and then all of the actual external world isn't actually what we're experiencing. So it's just not going to be the case our experience is going to actually, be evidence that something exists. Because, nothing of our experience can actually indicate that some particular thing exists. If it's the case, it's possible our experience isn't going to be corresponding to reality. Right? And science doesn't talk about whether...
We're still perceiving it exists. Okay. Even if it doesn't look the way exactly that we see it, it still exists. It's still real. It still exists.
The experience is real. The content of the experience corresponding with reality is not going to... It's going to be a gray area. That's not talked about in science. Again, that's a matter of philosophy. So, of course, all science is going to talk about is what we perceive, right? It's even possible that we're all experiencing, hallucinations, right? Maybe we're all experiencing the same hallucination of some certain thing. Right? So, of course, if we're all experiencing some hallucination ubiquitously among agents, of course, we're going to label that as phenomena, and it's just the case that it's a hallucination.
So
it's not real.
Experiencing something fake, there would have to be something real experiencing it, right?
What? What are you talking about?
We were living in hallucinogenic. If it was just we were perceiving fake things contrary to what is real, then that thing that is experiencing what is fake has to be real.
Yeah, no one's denying that. That's not even in the topic of discussion. What? Okay, yeah, this is just going back to the same Descartes bullshit that no one's interested in. Right? No one's denying that you exist or I exist, right? Well, presumably I have experience. I can't say, for any other agent, but I would like to believe that other agents also exist, given that they have mental states and mental content, and they experience the world, right? I don't have access to whether or not, you're just not like a robot and don't have an experience. But that's not the point, right? No one's talking about, I can grant you every agent that I perceive actually exists, right? They actually have minds. Okay, great. That doesn't, again, that's not relevant. What I'm saying is, it can be the case in science that every agent has some particular hallucination in the world. And it's the case, since it's ubiquitous among agents, the scientists are going to label that phenomena that we experience phenomena, right? It's going to be some phenomena we experience. And it's just going to be the case that phenomena isn't real. We're perceiving something not real. That's why it's labeled phenomena.
The observation, even if what we perceived was fake, science, as we know it, is the observation of that thing.
Yeah, no one's denying it's observed. That doesn't mean it's real.
Science is the observation of that.
Yeah, okay, it's observed. No one's saying it's not observed. In order to have a hallucination, you have to observe something not real, right? What we're talking about is whether the observation is real or not. Of course you're having the observation. No one's denying that. It doesn't make sense to saying you're not having a hallucination and having a hallucination. That you're hallucinating like you're not observing any false things yet somehow labeled hallucinating when there's nothing that you're observing that's not in your real experience or in reality that you're experiencing, right? That makes no sense. What we're talking about right now is whether the experience or observation is real. And I said that there's a clear reason why. Okay, so you obviously know nothing about philosophy because you're constantly conflating philosophy and science. Do you even know where the term phenomena came from? Do you know what phenomena means? If not, it came from Immanuel Kant in his treatise or his Critique of Pure Reason. And in his Critique of Pure Reason, he created the nomenclature of phenomena and another term called noumena. And what he named as phenomena is what agents experience, and noumena, what agents don't have or may experience or may not, and it's going to be reality. Immanuel Kant himself believes we'll experience reality, and that we can never know if we're experiencing reality. Right? He said noumena, that for starters, he believes there's a number of reasons to believe that our cognitive faculties are errors, right? And that's why he created transcendental idealism. And he doesn't believe that we have access to the actual external world. He doesn't believe we can ever access what's real, right? Because he wants to say everything is, interpreted under the cognitive faculties that can be wrong, right? And that's why science uses the term phenomena, because science doesn't deal with what we directly observe as real. It just talks about what we directly observe, and those observations can be not real.
Which is the thing that we were talking about.
So you understand? Okay, so you understand.
If we that gets into philosophy, so we're going to a science perspective. You can't deal with anything outside of what we observe.
Oh my God, you're so not tracking. Science is going to talk about that which exists. I don't know why it's so hard to move past this point. Science is going to be talking about that which exists. No, it doesn't. It talks about phenomena.
It's what we perceive.
Okay, wait. You really just don't stop talking, do you? Okay, for clarity, science talks about phenomena, not noumena, right?
Okay, are you debating the point or are you debating me?
I'm debating you. What? I'm debating you. I don't know what it means to debate a point. A point isn't an interlocutor, right? A debate is when two agents engage on some subject matter, right? So obviously,
really into a right answer.
If you're talking about the subject matter, look, but stop. Look, when I say stop, or anything of the sort, or I start over talking, you saying, no, you're wrong. Wait, hold on, let me explain. That means that's your cue to shut up because right now you're continuing to lather.
I said you're wrong. I haven't said one time you're wrong.
When did I say that you said that?
If anything, when
did I say that you said that? When did I look? You're doing it right now. You're doing it right now. When I'm talking and saying something, that's your cue to stop talking because I'm addressing something. You can very clearly, unless you're muting me when it's your point to talk, so then you don't hear me. So you're just like perfectly over talking me. When I say stop, that means stop. That's your cue to stop talking because you made an error or you're not tracking my point or something of the sort. Yeah. So are you very clear? So just to get clear, noumena is that which exists. Science talks about phenomena, which is, in the distinction, that which is observed and may not exist from that which actually exists. So it's not the case science talks about that which exists, because very clearly it uses the nomenclature phenomena. So it's already a given. It's built into science. Science doesn't talk about that which is real or that which exists. There's no dispute on that. That's very clearly why they're using the term phenomena, which precisely means that which is observed, not that which exists, which is noumena. So it's not the case science talks about that which exists, right? So when we talk about cosmic inflation or microwave background radiation, right? That observation can be false, right? So there's not going to be evidence of there even being a Big Bang if it's the case of phenomena is not real. You understand that? Surely you understand that. If the experience isn't real, of course there's not evidence.
No, I don't.
Wait, okay, so what are you not clear on? If there's no
science, discussing something that doesn't exist. If something doesn't exist, right? Science is the dealing with what exists.
No, it's not.
Doesn't exist,
what are you not clear on? 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 What did I just tell you a million times? Phenomena isn't that which exists or that which is real, and science deals with phenomena. So obviously, a corollary is science doesn't deal with that which is real. And maybe if you bother to read into any philosophy, even philosophy tells you this. The philosophy of science tells you science doesn't talk about that which is real, right? And ontology is literally the doctrine in metaphysics, which is a pedagogy of philosophy that talks about that which exists. Right? The field of study that talks about what exists isn't science, it's philosophy, particularly the doctrine of ontology. The doctrine of ontology talks about that which is real, not science. Science talks about phenomena, right? If you're talking about noumena, right, like in that Immanuel Kant distinction, noumena being that which exists, what talks about noumena is ontology, not science. Okay, so science doesn't talk about that which exists. Okay, so we're going to move past this. I'm not going to continue to try and dispute this with you, because I don't know you're not understanding. Obviously, it's not the case. You're right. Science doesn't talk about that which exists. If you still believe that, then you're an idiot, because I just explained to you how obviously science doesn't talk about that which exists. So if you're still confused or hung up on that point, you're an idiot and can't track, because I told you very clearly that that's ontology.
Please hear my point. You're talking about something that doesn't exist, which implies something that is outside of our existence. It is actually an argument that supports a God or something outside of us.
What did I say?
Something outside of the things that we observe.
Okay, so tell me
an argument from that point of view.
What did I say that?
It's not an argument against it.
What did I say supports the proposition God exists in what I just said? That science doesn't deal with noumena?
Trying to talk about things that don't exist.
No.
Naturalistic.
No.
The things that
no.
exist.
I just said.
Limited point of view.
Look, I'm not going to continue the conversation. If one more time you do this, I'm not going to continue the conversation. When I say no, stop. You're wrong. Wait, that's not what I said. Hold on. You're misinterpreting. You're misrepresenting. You're not tracking. When I say that, I know I'm over talking your voice. You did it right now again. When I do that, that's a cue for you to stop talking because you made an error dialectically.
Well, can you please show the same?
Okay. So in the no, look, when you make an error, I'm justified in interjecting. The only one here who's not tracking the conversation is you.
How is it so bad?
Oh, well, if maybe you're justified in interjecting, but you haven't been in this entire conversation, everything you said was confused, then maybe, of course, if I said something wrong, then of course I'd allow you to interject me. But you're the only one who doesn't know how science works and how philosophy works, and are conflating the two, and think that science talks about that which exists.
Your definition of science is flawed.
What did I say?
It's not flawed. You're arguing for something.
What do you mean?
Point of view. You're arguing a debate.
Wait. What did I say about my definition of science that's flawed?
You're saying science deals with phenomena, which is dealing with things that don't exist.
No, that's not what I said. This is precisely what I'm talking about. You can't track these very, very basic things. What I said is noumena talks about that which exists. Phenomena talks about agents' experience, which can be true or cannot be true. Like talk about an illusion or a hallucination. Of course, you can have a perception of something not real, and that's what phenomena talks about. That which is going to be perceived among scientists. And of course, what we can perceive can be wrong, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying science is. I'm not saying science is a study that deals with fiction. I never said science is that which deals with things that don't exist. That's retarded. Of course, I'm not saying that. That's fictionalism. Fictionalism is a school in philosophy that actually talks about precisely that which doesn't exist. Or nihilism, which is the view that things don't exist. Stuff of the sort. Of course, science is just merely a pedagogy that uses a certain methodology that is going to be a method of understanding phenomena. And building explanans for explanandums, or best explained explanations abductively for given datum that we perceive phenomenologically speaking. That's how science works. Of course, science doesn't talk about. Nowhere, I don't know where you heard me even closely or remotely say science deals with that which doesn't exist. You said what you heard me say is science is the study that deals with that which doesn't exist.
I never said it was fiction. It's dealing with things.
No. Look, what did you think that I said was phenomena? What you thought I said was phenomena is that which doesn't exist. That's not what I said. That's what I'm explaining right now. Even me explaining what I actually said. You're not tracking that too. You're not tracking that either.
I don't think you understand what I'm saying.
No, you're not understanding what I'm saying. You're not tracking me.
As much as I'm being accused of not understanding what you're saying, it seems like the same as being reciprocated.
No, look. First of all, I'm not talking about anything you're saying. All I'm talking about is your misconceptions. So I don't know what you're talking about. Unless what did I say that's miscapturing what you're saying, or that I'm confused about something? What am I confused about?
From your side, your argument is there not being anything else.
I never made an argument. For clarity, I produced no argument. So continue. You already made one error. Continue. See, this is what I'm talking about. You're confused. I didn't produce an argument ever.
So to say there's something outside of that promotes exactly what I'm saying.
What? Wait. Can you repeat that? You just said that particularly, or that promotes what you're saying. What promotes what you're saying? What are you talking about? Promotes what you're saying? And what particularly are you saying that which that thing is promoting? You're just talking like right now. You're very vague.
From what I'm understanding, the things that you're saying, right? Whether science is dealing with things that actually exist or don't exist, that's a matter of belief, a matter of philosophy. Okay, you can
not a matter of belief.
No,
it's not a matter of belief. I don't know where you got that.
Okay, a matter of whatever reality is. Hopefully you believe whatever reality.
No, it's just a matter of philosophy. I don't even know what it means to say it's a matter of reality. Reality isn't a field of study, but okay.
The truth, the reality around you, the very existence around you.
Okay, just tell me what the point is that you're saying.
You live in it, you're around it.
Just tell me what the point I said that you're saying promotes some other view that you are committed to. What did I say that's promoting anything you said? Because you said that just promoted what you said.
From a naturalistic point of view. And so anything outside of that is promoting something outside of what we see, outside of our observance, outside of, if there was no God, if there was nothing outside of here, if truly nothing else was going on, you would go at it from a naturalistic point of view. So the
What are you
thing
talking about?
outside of that actually helps promote my exact claim.
I don't look right now. Everything you said is not clear to me what you're talking about. I don't know what you're saying is promoting what you're saying, and I don't know what the thing you're saying is that you're saying is promoted by something I said. So first, tell me what you're saying about which promotes the thing you're saying. Oh no, let's actually do the inverse. What is the thing that you're saying that is promoted by something I said?
I'm arguing for the existence of God, and I'm saying I'm trying to use scientific data to say something. And we've gone on this whole tangent of how science can't make a claim about that, which I haven't disagreed with you by that. I said it could help prove the claim I was trying to make. And then it's gone to the separate tangent. And so now I'm just clarifying the thing that you're saying, right, about phenomena, about being like neutral and everything. I never disagreed with that. But if we're going at it from the point of there not being a God, if there being nothing outside of it, then we would go at it from a naturalistic point of view, from the world we see around us, from what we observe.
Everything you're saying again, you're doing too much talking, and you're just going into vague territory that's derailing. I just want to get clear, what is the precise proposition that you're saying or expression? Not a whole tangent. What is the precise proposition or expression that you're saying is promoted by something I'm saying?
I've just summed up our
I didn't ask you for a summary. Wait, what did you think I asked you for a summary? No, I didn't ask you for a summary.
Exactly what
I asked you. Yeah, but what I said was precisely what is precisely the thing that you're saying that is promoted by something that I said. And what you gave me isn't precisely the thing that you said. You gave a whole summary. And that's exactly why I said I'm super unclear and you're being very vague and seems like you're derailing into other territory and not giving me the precise expression or proposition. And you admitted that you're not doing that. So again, you're just not engaging. So I'm gonna now let's try this one more time. What is the precise expression or proposition that you're saying something of which I said is promoting that particular expression or view that you're holding? What is that?
I've already said it.
Yes, so tell me it.
Listening to what I said, I've already said it.
Okay, great. Tell me you've already said it doesn't inform me. You gave me a whole summary. I just want to
know the things that don't exist. Okay? From a naturalistic point of view, everything we...
No, you're doing it again. You're doing it again. You're doing it again. What I'm asking is what did you think I just asked you that you're responding to? What do you think I just told you to answer?
I was responding.
Yeah, what do you think you were answering to or responding to?
You're saying, what claim did you make that helps promote the thing that I am claiming?
Yeah, so what you're giving me is not the particular claim. Right, look, if someone said, well, Ronnie is red, and Ronnie's a dog, and of course dogs aren't red, and someone else said, oh, that is promoting what I'm saying, and I'm saying, what is the precise proposition that you're saying is promoted by something I said? The answer would be, dogs are red. I'm like, oh, well, what did I say that, promotes the expression, or promotes the idea that dogs can be red? Oh, well, you said that Ronnie holds the predicate that is red, and, Ronnie meets the biological norm standard, or the biological standard of what a dog is, so it's just going to be the case, Ronnie qualifies as a dog with the predicate red, and that would be promoting the idea that dogs can be red. That's something that I'm looking for. And what you gave me is nothing similar to that. So I'm going to get clear, what is the proposition that you're saying is promoted by something I'm saying, give me that proposition, then tell me what I'm saying that promotes it, and how. Jesus Christ, I don't know how you're not, tracking. This is, not hard.
Let's take a moment here. Okay, let's work together here.
Okay, let's just move past this, because this is not going anywhere right now. Okay, so can we move past the point that science says...
You're completely discrediting the entire thing I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I am, because this has been going on...
I've done nothing of the sort to you. You have been calling me out on every little thing, every time I butt it up.
Because you haven't been tracking. This entire conversation, you've been confused, ranting, and not tracking. No, you haven't. First, you haven't tracked my initial definition of phenomena. Now, you haven't tracked any... I don't have any reason to believe that anything of this conversation you've tracked.
Because your initial definition of phenomena is the only things that deal with philosophy. You've gone into philosophy when you're trying to fight against philosophy.
Again, wrong. See, this is what I'm talking about. You're not tracking. You just gave me evidence you're not tracking. When you said my definition of phenomena was philosophy.
They dealt with philosophy.
Yeah, again, that's wrong. That's wrong. What I said was phenomena isn't that which deals with philosophy. That's what noumena is. I said phenomena deals with what agents observe that can or can't be, or can be, or can't be true.
I thought you said lumina is dealing with things that exist.
Yes.
So now lumina is dealing with philosophy that actually exists, but then, so science isn't dealing with anything that actually exists.
No.
Science is fake. Science is an entirely fake thing.
No. Again, we've already went down this rabbit trail. You said that you tracked the conversation, and I've already responded to this. I said, no, what phenomena deals with is what agents observe which can be or cannot be real. So it can be the case what we observe is real or isn't. What phenomena talks about is the actual observation. What noumena talks about is whether that observation is real. Is what the thing that is observed is real. Noumena talks about what exists and what is real. Phenomena talks about the actual observation. Again, I said, it can be the case that phenomena is real. But of course, phenomena isn't going to be the instrument in attaining that knowledge. That's what the philosophy, the doctrine of ontology and metaphysics deals with.
I haven't said anything that has contradicted that point.
You just said
data helps support
right now.
Claims.
What you said wrong, which is
science helps support. Science is not the answer. It helps support the claim.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
The entire time.
And I know, and that's wrong.
How does it?
Yeah, it's just phenomena doesn't deal with that which exists. If you learn SPED, you can understand this. It's very clear what I'm saying is phenomena doesn't deal with that which exists. That's noumena's job. Phenomena talks about observation. Science talks about observation. All our scientific observation can be wrong, and therefore it's not evidence for any of the propositions. No, it can't. Look. No, look. You understand? If it's the case, every observation is wrong, then all the scientific evidence we have is thrown out the window, because that's not evidence for any particular propositions that science promotes, because none of those would actually be evidence for that proposition, because all those observations are false. If you understand, if science talks about phenomena, and everyone has this hallucination that someone was pushed down the stairs, but in reality, this dude tripped down the stairs and died, right? And we blame this dude named Smith for pushing down the stairs. And it's not the case that, of course, let's say, the Smith dude who pushed John down exists. And because we're experiencing hallucination, we look at evidence, and the evidence is video recording and testimonial evidence. And it's going to be the case that our, testimonial and video evidence just endorses that hallucination. It's not that. That's not going to be evidence that someone pushed John down the stairs if it's the case where we experience a hallucination, because it's not the case that's going to be happening in reality. What evidence is that which aims towards truth, and it's not going to be the case that that's going to be evidence for that proposition, because that doesn't promote truth, because it's not true. It's false. Right? We're having a presupposition.
If you see a video of someone pushing someone down the stairs and you say, that person didn't push that person down the stairs, like, I can't prove that's real. What are you even talking about?
What is wrong with you?
No evidence that happened.
Oh my god, I just want to punch my fucking computer with how stupid of a person you are. Oh my god. No one's saying... What are you not understanding? I'm not saying that it's false. I'm saying science doesn't deal with whether it's true or not. Science just takes our observation for granted. What are you not understanding? I'm not saying we have no reason to suspect that the video...
At a massive scope of things, it could totally be different. I'm saying science deals with things that
you're raising...
we see, and our limited...
Oh my god.
The things that we
Dude, you're raising my blood pressure too much. Okay, let's move past this point, because this is pure retardation. Okay, let's get to the point. Okay, we're gonna understand. I don't care if you say no. If you say no, you're just... This is evidence that you have a mental illness. It's obviously the case now that we know that science doesn't deal with that which exists. So of course, when you say that the Big Bang is evidence that the universe began to exist, and existence isn't going to be anything in the domain of science, that science isn't going to promote that something exists. Okay, great. So now the Big Bang isn't evidence that the universe began to exist, because there's no such thing as evidence in science for something beginning to exist. Alright, so now do you have an argument for the proposition the universe began to exist? Go ahead.
The Big Bang is evidence for the universe beginning to exist.
What is wrong with you?
It's evidence for it having a beginning.
I think this is evidence you have Down syndrome. But look, why?
Okay,
Wait. What do you think? You understand? Have you took 6th grade science? You understand the Big Bang talks about the Big Bang is an explanation, or it's going to be a hypothesis or theory of cosmic inflation. You understand that?
Yeah.
Yes. So you understand what the Big Bang is the universe at a point of singularity to an expansive state. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So you understand it doesn't talk about existence. It talks about a rate of change. Existence would be there's no universe and then there's a singularity. The Big Bang doesn't talk about there not being a singularity and a singularity appearing. It talks about the singularity expanding. That's what the Big Bang is. So again, this is a clear explanation that doesn't talk about the beginning of the existence of the universe. It's not talking about points in which the universe had existed, or a point in which the universe didn't exist, and then a point where it did, and then that's the initial point of sequence in which the universe had persisted. It doesn't talk about that. It just talks about the change from a singularity to an infinitely expansive state of the universe that we currently know. Do you not know this? This is like middle school science. Okay, if you understand that, then it's false that your initial claim that the Big Bang talks about the beginning of existence of the universe. It doesn't talk about it. It doesn't talk about whether or not there's a point in which the singularity didn't exist at all. Right? Again, that's metaphysics. Literally, metaphysics talks about whether or not there's a point prior to when the singularity existed. Science just talks about Big Bang. Big Bang is when we use microwave background radiation, and we see that the universe is expanding at some accelerated rate. Then we use that evidence, we de-accelerate it, and we just run that tape backwards, and then we literally just use microscopes to see what is the locality in space-time in which that is expanding from. So then we retract it to a singular point, right? And then we build the theory that the universe came from a single point. That all that microwave background radiation that's expanding, if we retracted it at the same rate that it's accelerating, we reach a beginning state. That's what the Big Bang is. So again, the Big Bang doesn't talk about the beginning of the existence of the universe. Okay, great, you're wrong. Because the singularity is already existing. It doesn't talk about a point in which the universe is not existing and then does. So it's not talking about the existence of the universe, the beginning of the existence of the universe. So you're wrong on that. You understand that now. You can see that point, or you're going to be dishonest and act like somehow the Big Bang does talk about the beginning to the existence of the universe. Unless you're denying that the singularity...
Big Bang is a theory. Yes, I know.
No one asks you that. No one asks you that.
The universe is expanding.
No one asks you that. No one asks you if you understand that. Again, hold on. No. No. Look, I don't want you to rant. Again, now you're just not... That's not what I ask you. Is it true that you have a dog and then you start talking about apple pie? I'm like, stop. And you continue to rant for 10 minutes about how you like apple pie so much. That's not relevant. So when I say stop. Do you understand? What I ask you is not do you understand the Big Bang Theory is a theory. What I ask you... No, look. No, because you're dishonest. You're an idiot. You're not tracking. And then you continue to ramble. When I try and stop you, you are. Oh, then maybe you're just ill. But that's fine. Look, so I want to clarify to you, because every time I ask you a question, you don't stop talking. No matter how many times I say stop, you continue to talk. In every instance, because the question I asked wasn't what you were responding to. I asked you, do you now understand?
Respond to your question the way you want me to respond to it. My questions are very loaded. Often I have to...
Wait. First, that's false. There's 2 false things. First, it's not the case what you were doing was responding in such a way in which you were articulating yourself to not fall into a trap about a loaded question. Right? What you were doing was just not responding to the question at all. The second false thing you said is that what I said was loaded. If you understand what a loaded question is a loaded question is a question that presupposes something as fact as to which to make the interlocutor look bad. Like, as if I said, are you still cheating on your wife? Now, if you answer yes or no, that makes you look bad, as it presupposes you ever cheated on your wife. So, of course, it's going to make you look bad because, of course, it presupposes you cheated on your wife, which that presupposition itself might be false. And that's not what I did. What I did was explain how the Big Bang doesn't talk about the existence of the universe, or the beginning of the existence of the universe. And then I asked you if you now understand how the Big Bang Theory doesn't talk about the beginning of the existence of the universe. Nowhere there did I talk about anything loaded. There's no presupposition in anything I said. And what you did was not respond. Because for clarity, what I asked you was, do you understand now how the Big Bang Theory doesn't talk about the beginning of the existence of the universe? You know what you responded with? Yes, I understand how the Big Bang Theory is a theory. That's not what I asked you. That's obviously not what I asked you. I didn't ask you a trivial question because it's built in the name, right? Big Bang Theory. I didn't ask you if the Big Bang Theory is a theory. So I don't know why you responded, yeah, I understand how the Big Bang is a theory. So now you understand how no loaded question and you not responding to the question, and this is another article of evidence that you aren't tracking the conversation? Okay, great. So now I'm going to ask you the question again. Do you understand how the Big Bang Theory doesn't talk about the beginning of the existence of the universe? It talks about the beginning of cosmic inflation. Right? It just talks about how the universe expanded. It doesn't talk about how the universe came into existence or if the universe came into existence. Even people like Alan Guth, the creators of cosmic inflation, deny the view or belief that the universe came into existence. Right? Alan Guth, the physicist who created, he was the first person who ever created cosmic inflation. Right? One of the biggest influencers for the Big Bang Theory. He talks about how he doesn't believe the universe came into existence. So obviously, either he's contradicting himself, which he's not, because again, his belief in the universe not coming into existence is a metaphysical view. So he's saying he doesn't have this metaphysical view, but he does have the scientific theory he developed, which is that the universe expanded from a singularity. But he doesn't believe that the universe had came into existence. He believed the universe always existed, and that it was just the first point of the universe, the beginning of the universe was a singularity, and then which it expanded. He didn't believe that the singularity was created. Okay, so great. Surely you understand now. I made it very dumbed down. Surely now you understand that the Big Bang Theory doesn't talk about the beginning of the existence of the universe. Do you understand that now, or?
Yes,
okay.
I believe so.
Okay, great. You can also research this too, right? This was in, I don't even have the interview because I don't study science. I major in philosophy, but this was from I think my senior year in high school, and studies of the sort of science that I had, honor science or advanced science or whatever, and statistics and all that BS. Yeah, you can research on Alan Guth and whatever. You obviously have a huge misconception of the Big Bang. I don't even know how anyone has the view that the Big Bang talks about the beginning of the universe. There is a sense of which the Big Bang talks about the beginning, right? If all we mean by
My view is the Big Bang was the beginning of the universe. But yes.
Yeah, it's the beginning of the universe. But there's a difference.
Just then the universe is eternal, and then the Big Bang was the start of the universe expanding.
Yeah, we understand. There's a difference between saying no, that's not an argument. But all I'm saying is to clear this up. Saying that there's a beginning to the universe is different from saying there's a beginning to the existence of the universe, right? In a sense, the physicists can say the Big Bang is the beginning to the universe, right? That's going to be a sensible expression. But what they're not saying is that it's the beginning to the existence of the universe, right? Because obviously that's false. Because the initial state of expansion, prior to the initial state of expansion, there's already a singularity. So it's not the beginning to the existence of the universe. All they mean by it's the beginning of the universe is the sense of which all we mean by beginning.
Okay, but then that view, then you're just talking about the beginning of the existence of the beginning of the universe in context, and you're not really talking about the beginning of the universe as a whole.
That is the beginning of the universe as a whole, actually. Look, all we mean by beginning is
you're talking about the beginning of the universe as
wait. No, that is the yeah. Look, what I mean by beginning, for clarity, because right now you're confused. What I mean by beginning is the initial state in a sequence of events. And what I mean by the beginning of the existence of the universe is the first point in which the universe had began to exist. Now, physicists don't have a particular commitment to that, right? Because that's a metaphysical commitment. But when a physicist says the universe has a beginning, what they are saying is that the initial point in the sequence of events, they're saying that prior to the singularity, there's no events, right? Because an event is a spatial temporal coordinate, right? Even if we talk about the universe as an event, they want to say there's nothing prior to the singularity. Every moment prior was just the same state, the singularity. So the first event, the first instance of change, which is understood as an event, is going to be a cosmic inflation, right? So in that sense, there is a beginning to the universe, right? The first event, and the first event is the event of cosmic inflation, because all events prior is just going to be a singularity. There's no other events. Okay, great. So there is a sense in which the physicist talks about beginning, but they don't talk in a robust metaphysical sense that talks about the beginning of the existence of the universe. Okay, so the Big Bang isn't evidence that the universe began to exist, right? You already signed off on that. So I want to get clear now, what is the argument that the universe began to exist?
Whatever had a beginning had a cause, right? There was a beginning somewhere. Okay?
Oh, are you just giving me the standard...
Admittedly.
You're just giving me the standard column. Everything that begins to exist has a cause, the universe begins to exist, therefore the universe has a cause. Obviously that's false, because, again, that's just going to beg the question, actually, because I'm asking for the argument that the universe began to exist. Also, maybe if you want, I can send you an SCP article on philosophy. Again, this is metaphysics, the nature of causality or causation. There's, there's like infinite numbers of ways of cashing out the words causality, right? Like if I actually write here right now, what do you mean by cause? You're going to say the relationship between cause and effect. If I actually, what do you mean by cause or what do you mean by effect? Either you're going to give me a definition that's going to entail contradiction, or you're just not going to have a definition. So for clarity, cause and effect doesn't apply to the universe. Cause and effect is the relationship contained in the universe, right? Because cause and effect is the relationship between events, and events are spatial temporal locations that are extended, right? Either extended in time or in space, right? So a causal connection is going to be a connection between events. There's not going to be an event prior to the singularity, right? Events are understood within the universe. Events are literally just points in space in a duration of time, and of course the universe is the unification of space-time, right? Like
when we're considering the universe, we're considering the laws in the universe, and anything outside of that would be something outside of the universe.
I don't know. Right? First, I don't think it's coherent to say there's such thing as anything outside the universe. That just makes zero sense to me. I think that always entails contradiction.
We need to understand the laws inside the universe, so to say there's cause effect in the universe and say, oh, well, there's cause and effect here, but cause and effect would be different elsewhere. Wouldn't it make a lot of sense if it was only the universe that existed?
What are you talking about?
You just said there's a difference between the cause and effect here and the cause and effect elsewhere. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but yes, that's what you said.
No, I don't even know. From what did I say that it sounded like that? I'm not clear.
Okay, repeat your point about cause and effect.
Yeah, so cause and effect is the relationship between events, where an event is understood as spatial temporal, right? So all it's going to be is some set of localities that are extended in space and time, right? It's just a connection between events. And events are understood in space-time, and the universe is space-time. So cause and effect can't apply to the universe itself. That entails contradiction, right? Precisely the class of contradiction is category error. Because if what we mean by cause and effect, right, the necessary sufficient conditions for cause and effect are instances in space-time, and the universe is the set of events, then of course there's no such thing as a cause to the set of events, because the set of events isn't an event. right? That's why there's the contingency argument, which intends to sidestep the causal argument, because if you just read basic causality, it's impossible that the universe has a cause, by definition. The universe can't have a cause, because a cause is literally just going to be a connection between events. That's why I said I can...
The universe had a beginning, it had a cause.
No. If the universe had a beginning, the universe can have a beginning that is explained by something, and that explanation is not a cause. And again, I just explained this twice, and I even told you from the outset, I said, if you want, I can send you SCP articles on philosophy, particularly metaphysics, that talks about causation, and how it's going to be the case. All thesis, or all theories of causation, are going to be impossible to apply to the universe.
If it's separate from causation, then it's something eternal.
What are you talking about? All I'm trying to explain to you is that there's no such thing as a cause for the universe. That's, no, look, I'm telling you, the universe, look, you might want to say the universe is explained by something else, right? The existence of the universe is explained by something else. I'm saying that the type of explanation is not a causal explanation. What is so sophisticated there that you can't understand? It's a type of explanation in which something explains the existence of the universe.
By causation, and that means it's dealing with something eternal. Either the universe itself is eternal, it didn't have.
What are you talking about? No, you're not listening. You're not listening. You're not tracking. Jesus Christ. Damn. I just told you. You particularly. You want to say that the existence of the universe is explained by something else, right? Yes? You want to say...
What's my claim, yes.
Yeah, and I'm saying the type of explanation is not a causal explanation. So I'm saying, you're saying that the existence of the universe is explained by something. But it's not...
If it's not a causal explanation, the universe would have to be eternal. Meaning it didn't have a beginning. It didn't have a start. It always existed.
No, I'm saying that's precisely... No, that's precisely what I'm denying. Oh my god, how are you so bad at tracking? I don't get it. Dude, no, you're not tracking. I'm gonna say this one more time. What you want to say... Okay, look, you are human being. Human being named Underdog want to say universe has an explanation. But causation is explanation for events. But universe, not event. So universe can't be causal. But you want to say the universe is explained by something else, the existence of universe. The type of explanation, therefore, is not causal. But the universe can still not be infinite. The universe can still not be eternal, and is explained by something else. So something else explains the existence of the universe, and the universe is not eternal. But the explanation is not a causal argument.
Your own argument and realize
I didn't make an argument for clarity.
Claiming that anything created the universe. If the universe didn't have a cause, something had to have made the universe exist. So if nothing made the universe exist, then the universe was eternal.
You're not.
It never.
I literally look. I just like explained it in ABCs for you. I even performed with an autism voice. I literally explained that in metaphysics, there's things that can be explained, and the type of explanation is not a causal explanation. So it is possible you say the existence of the universe is explained by something, and it's the case that the universe has no cause, and that entails no contradiction, right? And I explained why that is. I said in metaphysics, I can send you the article from SCP, and you can read yourself into the metaphysics of causality and how cause and effect works. Cause and effect is the connection between events, and therefore can't apply to the universe. So by definition, the universe wouldn't have a cause, right? But you can still say the universe has an explanation for its existence. It's just not a causal explanation, right? And I said, there, we solved the problem. Now you just have to give me an argument that something explains the existence of the universe. But you kept saying, well, if the universe has no cause, then the universe is eternal. And I said, no, the universe can be... No, because... Yeah, what do you think I just said? Repeat back what I just said. Go ahead.
You're saying the universe, there can be an effect to the universe.
No! Right? Retard. I just said no, retard. When I say no, no. When you say that's what you said, and I say no retard, that means no retard. That's not what I said. Right? So what I said, for clarity, is not that the universe can have no cause and the effect of the universe. That makes no sense. What I said is there's no causal connection to the universe. That means there is no cause and there is no effect at all. There is no cause and effect relationship. And I explained this. I said what a cause and effect relationship is a connection between events, and the universe is not an event. The universe is a collection of events. So causality.
Are you basically saying there's no such thing as cause and effect?
You're so. Oh my god. I'm not gonna lie. If I was in, either you go to a psychiatric hospital, or if I was in person with you, I'd strangle you. If we were to have an intellectual dispute, because the discourse. Look, okay, and I'm really trying to dumb it down, but it's just like I said it almost 6 times, and I've explained it 6 different ways, and you don't understand, even when I did it in a retarded voice and said it in ABC language. So here.
Because what you're saying at the heart of it, at the core of it, makes no sense.
It does.
You're saying there's an effect to the universe without a cause.
No, I didn't say that. I said there is no
cause.
No. I didn't.
There's no cause to the universe.
I want you to be clear. Did I ever say the universe has an effect and no cause? No, I said the universe has no causal connection. What I mean by causal connection is that it does not partake in causation, and causation is the concept of cause and effect. So that means there is no cause and there is no effect. The universe is not an effect. Of course, I can agree. Everything with an effect has a cause. I'm saying the universe, therefore, is not an effect. That's common sense. If the universe has no cause and every cause has an effect, then or every effect has a cause, vice versa, right? We can say it's like biconditional. Of course, that just implies the universe is not an effect if there is no cause.
In your argument, there's like an...
I didn't make it. Why do you keep saying my argument? I didn't make an argument. I've never made an argument. I'm trying to explain how you're confused.
You've been debating the whole time. That's what an argument is.
No, what an argument is... No.
It's a loose definition of the word
argument. No. What I mean, the argument means in a strictly logical fashion, which is the same fashion in which, from the outset of this debate, did I ask you to produce an argument with the proposition being God exists, right? And I even explained what I meant by argument. An argument is a set of premises and a conclusion. Right now, I'm just critiquing your argument. I'm not making an argument. I'm criticizing your argument. Right now, I'm criticizing the fact
by making your own points, your own claims.
But wait. I didn't make any claims. I never made a claim in this conversation.
Extremely abundant claim.
Name one claim I made.
That the universe has, there's no causation.
He can't justify his claim.
Like, it has nothing to do with causation.
Oh yeah, so I was merely explaining how it's going to entail contradiction, right? I mean, sure, you can. Okay, granted, that is a claim, but all I was trying to illuminate is the fact that why causation doesn't apply to the universe. And I said, that's fine. You want to say the universe has an explanation for its existence? Who is this other dude talking?
There's no argument.
Okay, please shut up, Ryan. Look, so I'm saying, okay, maybe you want to say the universe has an explanation for its existence, and I'm saying the type.
I don't want to status with yes, so
just mute this dude because he's just interrupting the dispute. Because I don't want him interfering. So when I'm talking, he's over talking me, vice versa, right? He's not part of this conversation. He's just randomly saying love and stuff, and he just like joined like 20 seconds ago. So please mute him. All right, you have him muted. Underdog.
No, he's not bothered to me.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay.
Wait,
Ryan,
within his own group.
Ryan, can you please try and not interrupt the dispute? Can you try and not interrupt the dispute, please?
Justify your worldview that doesn't exist.
Can you please not interrupt the dispute, please?
No.
Look, if you want to debate me after, I can do that. Is that what you want?
No, I don't need to.
Okay, so why are you interrupting a productive conversation we're having with another?
I don't need to argue with you.
Okay, but I'm having an argument with another person, and you're just interrupting.
You just said that.
What I mean by no, I said I didn't produce an argument. What I mean by arguing is just sorry.
You're just positing things.
You're
not justifying. That's what he's asking. That's what I'm asking. Is you're not.
Yeah. Look. Okay. So look, you can have that belief. Just don't interrupt the debate, please.
Yeah, but I don't have a boss here, except for a mod.
Sorry.
I don't have a boss here, except for a mod.
Underdog. Can you please just mute this guy for you so he doesn't interrupt the debate?
Actually, in high school or college yet?
Sorry.
Someone that hasn't graduated college yet did not even tell me anything.
What does matter? I'm not. Okay, I'm an undergrad in college. What does that matter?
It's not showing. Can you justify your claims, please?
So I'm gonna mute you. Hopefully, Underdog does the same. Anyways, Underdog. Now I'm losing my train of thought because this retard. Anyways, so for clarity,
that's not nice.
It doesn't matter. He came in saying, "Can you justify your claims interrupting the debate for no reason?" Right? And he's saying, "I don't care if I'm interrupting the debate. You're not the boss of me."
Call people names and
No, look, I can call people names if I want. That's fine. He's not a part of the debate, so that doesn't matter. Look, so do you understand what I'm saying? Very clearly, what I'm saying is, you can have
on a human level, you know.
What I'm saying is, you can have an explanation for the existence of the universe, and that explanation is not a causal one. Do you understand that? Like, I don't know how many times I have to say that.
That's an argument for an eternal universe.
No. What do you think it means to say that the universe has an explanation for its existence? That means that there is something that explains why the universe existed. So it's not the case the universe is eternal, because it being eternal implies nothing explains its existence, right? Because it always existed. Like, that's a contradiction. What I'm saying is that you can have a non-eternal universe, and the universe
if
is...
something happened to explain its existence, then it had a cause.
No,
that's why I don't get your arguments.
Again, that's not an argument. But that's what look, that's what makes... I'm saying you can have an explanation that's not causal. So there is going to be an explanation for the... Sorry? What? I don't... So I said sorry? I didn't hear what you said. Hello, Underdog?
I'm here.
Yeah, so what did you say? I didn't hear you. I don't know, you took like half a minute to respond.
I didn't realize you were talking to me.
Who else would I be talking to?
I was asking to give an example, please. Like what you were saying. Please give an example.
Yeah, the example is particularly what you're talking... Okay. For the love of God. So all I'm saying is that causation... Okay, I'm just going to go puzzle piece by puzzle piece until we complete the picture. You understand causation is a type of explanation, right? Like a causal explanation is a particular type of explanation. There's types of explanations that are non-causal. You understand that expression? That a causal, there's not every explanation is a causal explanation. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter right now. I just want you to get clear that a causal explanation is a particular type of explanation. All I'm saying is that it's possible that there is a non-causal explanation. Do you understand that?
Give an example.
Okay.
Of something that
could
be like that.
Something that explains the existence of something else. That's an example. That's going to be a non-causal explanation, right? Namely, something that explains the beginning of the universe, the existence of the universe, rather, is going to be a non-causal explanation. Now, an explanation doesn't matter, or me giving you an example doesn't matter. All I'm telling you is what I want you to get clear on is that there is types of explanation that are non-causal. Do you understand that? I just want you to understand that expression.
What?
Do you understand that expression that there can be an explanation for something's existence, and the type of explanation is non-causal? I don't
understand the logic behind what you're saying. Please give a real life example of
anything. No. Okay, look. An example right now is not relevant, and I gave you an example. I said something that explains the beginning of existence of the universe.
Isn't that a real thing? Are you just giving me an example that came out of thin air, or a definition? Because
what are you talking about?
No sense.
What makes no sense?
Please name an example where that definition actually makes sense.
What definition?
The one you just gave me.
What you said? The one I just gave you. I didn't give you a definition for anything. Look, okay, so whether or not you disagree or agree, I just want you to get clear you understand the expression, not if you agree with the expression. Do you understand the expression, a causal explanation? Yeah, I want you to sign off on you understanding the expression. So a causal explanation is a particular.
You're not helping me understand the expression. You're repeating the expression, the definition of the expression, right? But you're not giving an example of where it actually applies.
Look,
when is that actually a thing?
Look, an example doesn't matter. Look, I said it can be the case there is no other thing.
Why does it not matter?
Why does it not matter? Because it doesn't.
The way you're presenting it, it's like you're labeling it as fact. Like it's a thing of the universe, and we should consider it in that
thing of the universe.
The universe didn't have a causal beginning.
What do you're so bad at tracking it, it just hurts my head. So all I'm saying for clarity is that you understand a causal explanation is a type of explanation. In philosophy, there's other types of explanation that don't qualify as a causal explanation. So I'm saying something can be explained by something else, and the explanation is not causal. So something is explained by something else, but something isn't the cause of something else. Now, I told you, obviously, you might not know this because you obviously know zero philosophy. And I told you I can send you SCP articles on metaphysics of causality, and you can read into what causality is and understand how there are types of explanations that are non-causal. And I said that doesn't matter right now, right? Even if you disagree, there is no such thing as a non-causal explanation. I just want you to know.
If it exists and it's non-causal, then that means it never had a cause. It's
eternal. Yeah, no, that.
It never had a beginning.
No, that's false.
There's no time to it.
No, that's. No, I said, look, I just, look, okay, yeah, you're over talking me, so I want to know if you heard what I said. If not, maybe that should be a reason to not over talking me. Did you hear what I said? Why are you over talking me? No, okay, so what I said was, when you said, something can not have a causal explanation, then I said yes, and then you said that means it doesn't have a cause, and I said yes, obviously. And then you said, so then that implies that the universe has no cause and it's eternal. I said, no, that's false.
Okay, how is that false?
Because there can be a type of explanation that's not causal. Here, let me explain this for the last, I'm going to explain this for the last time. What causality, the standard model of causality in metaphysics is, or actually, this is just what causality generally is. Causality is a connection between events. Do you understand that? What I'm saying is causality equals relationship between events. You understand that? You understand that? Okay, great. So an event is an instance or set of instances in space-time. Understand that? Okay, great. I'm saying the universe is a set of events. You understand that? Okay, the universe is not an event. And by definition, if the universe is the set of all events, there's no event outside the universe. So, therefore, if causality is a connection between events, and the universe isn't an event, and no events can exist outside the universe, then the philosopher can say, or the theologian, right, if you want to say God explains the existence of the universe, the philosopher/theologian can say, something explains the existence or the beginning of the existence of the universe, and the type of explanation is not causal. Because a causal explanation is an explanation inside the universe, right? It's an explanation of an event. Now do you understand?
I want to clarify.
Okay, clarify.
I just want to clarify. God explains it without... There's two possibilities we were discussing, right? The possibility of an eternal universe.
Okay, look, I just want you to get clear right now. Do you understand what I said about... Yeah, so do you understand what I'm saying now about the universe having an explanation for its existence, and that explanation is not causal?
I believe I do. But in you saying that, you are conveying that the universe would be eternal, right?
No, I'm saying...
Am I missing something?
Yeah, you are missing something, very clearly. The universe cannot partake in causal connection. I explained this 10 times. Or about...
Which means the universe never had a set point in time it began.
No, that's false. That's false. And I explained how that's false. Why? Again, do you understand why...
No, it does have a set point in time.
No, listen. Look, do you understand why what was my explanation for why the universe cannot have causal connection? Go ahead and paraphrase back to me. Why?
You said the universe is a set of events. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we take these events and we say, oh, these things can happen without a cause. For something, an effect needs a cause. For something to have a beginning, it needs a cause, right? So if it doesn't have that, then it never had a beginning in the first place, which means it's eternal. There's no set point in time it begins.
What? Look, can you repeat that? I don't even know if what you're saying is even, again, tracking what I'm saying. Just repeat what you said.
Are you tracking what I'm saying?
Right now, no, I didn't capture what you're saying. That's why precisely why I asked you to repeat it. If I tracked what you said right there, I wouldn't ask you to repeat it, unless I'm intending to waste time. So go ahead and don't ask stupid questions.
I'm not trying to. I'm trying to get on the same page.
Okay, yeah, that's why I asked you to repeat what you said. So I can get on the page of what you just said.
The universe, they're not having it. Just for something to have a beginning, it needs a cause.
False. That's already false. That's already false. That's already false. And the reason why that's false is the several times I explained. Oh my god, why can't you track? Look, do you need me to type it out for you? I literally went step by step and you said you understand each one. Listen, don't lie to me. If you don't understand what I'm saying, don't say, do you understand that? And you say yes. Look, so a causal connection is a connection between events. The universe is not an event, so there's not causal connection between the universe. So, you can say something explains the existence of the universe, or the beginning of the existence of the universe, and that explanation is non-causal. What part of that do you not understand? You didn't come through clearly. I don't know what you even said.
I'm saying there's no logic to it.
There's logic. If what you mean by there's no logic to it is that entails contradiction, that's false. Right? Actually saying...
It sounds like you're trying to say, oh, there's cause, but it wasn't cause.
No, I'm saying...
Something made it happen. That doesn't mean something made it happen.
Okay, so for clarity, causal connection means a connection between events. Okay, you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, don't lie to me. Say yes if you actually understand, because we went through the... Okay, well, we already did 2 other times. Okay, so I just want you to get clear that you understand. What the heck?
I hope I understand.
Okay, so now that you understand a causal connection is a connection between events, You understand the universe is not an event. Because the universe isn't an instance of space-time. The universe is the set of events. Because the universe is the set of events.
I think the argument they're trying to make, there's an underlying assumption there. It's not from the baseline. There's an assumption that, the universe is eternal. Then your argument.
No, look, no, again, you're derailing. Look, look, no, you're derailing. Look, so, again, you understand how it makes sense to say that, of course, look, the universe is the set of events. Causation is the connection between events. The universe, therefore, being the set of events, isn't an event. Therefore, there isn't causal connection between the universe. Because a causal connection...
Nothing created the universe.
No, that's false.
The universe never had any beginning.
No, that's false. And I just told you that's false. And I said it almost 20 times. Maybe even more. I've already said you're wrong, right? So, again, something can create the universe, and it's not a causal connection. Okay, so let me explain this to you. You understand the universe is the set of events?
Yes.
Okay, so if there's... wait, stop talking. If the universe is the set of events, anything outside of the universe that explains the existence of the universe is therefore outside of events. You understand that?
Okay, please repeat that.
Yeah, so if the universe is the set of all events, and there's something that exists outside the universe that explains the existence of the universe, then that means that thing that explains the existence of the universe, of course, is outside the set of events. So whatever is outside the universe is outside an event. Okay, so if causal connection is a connection between events, and the universe is not an event, and whatever is explaining the universe is, as you already agreed when you said, that thing that explains the universe is also outside an event, then that means there's an explanation to the universe. You understand that means that there's a connection?
The universe is not an event. Say the universe always existed.
I couldn't hear the first part of what you were saying because I was talking. So can you re-say that from the beginning?
Say the universe is not an event, right? That's saying the universe, as baseline of a thing, was like it was like a chalkboard, right? And all the events that happen are just a thing. It's making the universe separate from every single event that happens in the universe.
No, the universe is the set of events. You understand what a set is, right? Like in discrete mathematics, it's the collection. The universe is just space-time that collects the sequence of events. It itself is just a collection of events. Look, if I have a set of numbers, right? If I say I have a mathematical set and the set contains 1, 2, and 3, if I say 3 is, you understand that one of the elements contained in the set, or the sequence rather, well, it doesn't even matter, set, sequence. The element contained in the set is going to be a number. The set itself isn't going to be a number. The set is containing numbers.
Okay, let's use an analogy here, right?
Do you understand that analogy? I just gave you an analogy. So you understand that a set of numbers is going to be a collection of numbers. That means the set itself, the set itself is not going to be a number. Just in the same sense, the universe is a collection of events, but the collection of events itself, the set of events, the set itself is not an event.
So basically, that argument, fundamentally, rudimentary. Okay, this is why I'm trying to make an analogy here. It's like having a chalkboard and writing on the chalkboard. Now, let's call all the writings the events, right? But the chalkboard is not the same as the things I write. I'm just writing it on the chalkboard. So it implies that the chalkboard was there already, and all the events happened on the chalkboard.
No.
Now, let's say the chalkboard was out of the room, and I put in a chalkboard. That's putting the chalkboard in place so that I can do the events. But if you don't account for me putting the chalkboard in the room, that's saying the chalkboard was always in the room and nothing put it in. That's saying the chalkboard never.
No. What is wrong with you in the head? Like, I don't know how your brain's structured so poorly in which way that you think like this. It's like even your chalkboard analogy just promotes what I'm saying. Here, let me give you the intuition pump. All I'm saying is that if what we mean by events is whatever is written on the chalkboard, right, and then there's an instance in which there's nothing written on the chalkboard, right, say that's the singularity, that doesn't imply that the chalkboard was always there, right, just because the chalkboard had no writing. It still could have been the case that at some point in time, a teacher or faculty member put the chalkboard into the classroom. Now, it might be the case the chalkboard had existed always, or that, let's just say since forever, like since the school was like built, or it could be the case that it was put in this year. Of course, there being I don't know if you're not understanding. The writing is obviously not the chalkboard. If I say a causal connection is a connection between the writings on a chalkboard, and then you ask me if there's causal connection between something putting in the chalkboard into the classroom, if what we mean by causal connection is a connection between the chalkboard and the writing, of course that doesn't make sense to say what is the cause of the chalkboard.
But the chalkboard needed a cause.
What is wrong with you? If all I mean, no. Look, what did I say? What did I say? No. Shush. No. Calm down. Look, what did I just say, little kid? Was meant by causality in this scenario.
Yeah, your definition of what is
the connection
makes no sense.
The connection between writing on the chalkboard. No. I said it. No. You gotta shut your mouth. I just said in this scenario. In this scenario, I'm talking in particularized to the chalkboard analogy, where I'm using the word causation in a very, very idiosyncratic sense. Right, in the sense in which it was proprietary or idiosyncratic.
Bro,
it's the sense in which... don't interrupt.
Are you okay?
Yeah, please don't interrupt the conversation. Was the sense in which I'm using causality to be the connection between writing on the chalkboard.
Ain't that serious, man?
Okay, I don't know you don't have... Like, I don't know why grown people just like to interrupt other people.
I don't know why you're so mean to everybody who joins chat, and you're even throwing insults at me.
Well, first, I don't know why... Wait. First, obviously, if someone comes over talking, interrupting, and aren't a part of the conversation, of course I'm gonna not be happy about that.
But you still don't have to be that
I
hostile towards
wasn't.
it. Like, hey,
I wasn't being hostile.
not being like.
I didn't. Well, okay.
I wouldn't exactly say like.
What insult did I throw?
Don't insult me too.
Yeah, I don't.
Yes, me
Telling someone to shut up isn't
You just
hostile,
wanted to be-
like at all. Like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Of course, you can have a non-hostile expression of shut up. Like when you talk with your friends and you say shut up, do you always doesn't? Are you saying that every instance in which the term shut up is invoked?
Are you
in
that
some?
close with this person to be saying
No,
shut
no,
up
no.
that
Look,
way?
that doesn't. No, that doesn't matter. The relationship between how close I'm with the individual doesn't matter. Do you take it that?
Okay, then go up to someone on the street and tell them to shut up in the way you do. I'd like to see how that goes for you.
Okay, great. Thank you for that suggestion. You're super productive to the conversation and adding so much. Thank you. Now,
I'm just explaining how your logic is failing here, man.
Okay,
It's very hostile. You're telling me.
No, look. Let me ask you this: is it possible I invoke the phrase "shut up" in some contextual state of affairs in which the state of affairs, contextually speaking, is one in which?
The first thing I did when I joined the call, the first thing I heard was shut your mouth to Underdog when he was trying to explain something. That's the first
Okay,
thing.
I'm gonna just mute you. I'm muting you. Great. Now let's get back to the conversation. Underdog. Jesus, so many people just can't stop interrupting. It's been like the fourth time someone has like came into the VC and started trolling or saying dumb stuff or interrupting or engaging in meta or polemics or stuff that's not interesting to the actual substance of the conversation and aren't going to be an interlocutor in the conversation, but think that it's fine for them to just jump in and interrupt. Okay, so great. So do you understand? Look, I'm not interested in the meta. Let's move past that. Let's get back to the conversation. I just want you to get clear. Do you now understand that there can be an explanation for something's existence in which the type of explanation is a non-causal explanation?
No, I don't understand.
Okay, great. So okay, great. So look, if what we mean by a causal connection is a connection in which the relata are events, which just means it's a relation between events, and the universe is going to be the collection of events. So when I say something explains the existence of the universe, meaning or implying that whatever explains the existence of the universe is obviously outside the universe, and the universe is not an event. Therefore, whatever is the connection in which that is doing the explaining of the ontology of the universe is non-causal.
Assuming the universe is not an event.
Yeah, obviously it's not. If the universe, there's a contradiction in saying the universe is not an event. That's why the universe is an event. It's proof by contradiction.
The universe could be a massive event, and there's many events happening in place.
Yeah, if you want a contradiction. Yeah, if you want a contradiction. Yeah, if you shut your mouth, stop talking over me. If you want to have a contradiction in your view, be my guest and go ahead and refute your own position. I'm not going to entail a contradiction in my view. When you say the universe is an event, you understand how that entails contradiction or no?
How is that contradiction?
Okay. Look,
it's a massive event.
Do you want me to explain or not? Don't say how's it an event, and then you just continue to talk, right? So presumably asking me a question. Okay, you want me to explain how it entails contradiction in saying the universe is an event?
Yes, please.
Well, first, obviously, there's a contradiction in saying a set is an event, right? Because a set is a mathematical entity, right? An event is a spatial temporal instance. There's going to be some extended instance in space-time, and obviously the two aren't the same. They're not co-equal, right? So they're obviously dissonant. So obviously, saying one is equal to the other in an identity relation entails contradiction. But the other way of showing the more obvious contradiction is if the universe is understood as the totality of events, then that means if the universe itself is an event, that means there's an event outside the totality of events. Because for some reason, which again that sounds stupid, the set is an event. I don't know what it means to say a set is an event. That's like saying the number one is an event. You understand? You understand a mathematical? Wait. You understand a mathematical entity can't be an event. That makes no sense. An event is an instance in space-time. A mathematical entity is merely a mathematical entity, right? It's just literally a notion contained in the pedagogy of mathematics, right? Particularly discrete mathematics. Look, does it make sense to say the number one is an event?
That what?
Does it make sense to say the number one is an event?
Isn't it?
Don't be dishonest. Obviously, it's not. The number one isn't an event.
I'm not being dishonest.
Okay, you understand the number.
Ways that you're framing the words. It's a very weird way to put it. I'm not a mathematician.
Okay.
I guess it could be an event.
Oh, well, then you're an idiot. If an event is an instance in space-time, like here, an event would be kicking the ball. Kicking. Okay, now I'm back. Okay, so let me ask you, since you responded, I'm gonna try and not lose my temper, but you're saying a lot of stupid stuff and not tracking, and I had to like repeat stuff almost 10 times, literally, not even like an over-exaggeration. I just want to get clear, why do you believe a number is an event?
Why do I believe it?
Yeah, what is your reason to say that a number can be an event? Sorry?
I was trying to go off of your definition of what an event is.
Yeah, an instance in space-time? A number isn't an instance in space-time. We can assign numerical value to objects in space-time, right? When I say I have one apple, right? But I'm not talking about assigning value to objects, right? And using mathematical concepts and applying them to like phenomenological things in our experience. I'm saying, what does it mean to say that the number one is an event? Like saying kicking a ball is an event.
That definition, that wouldn't be, but I don't know how that pertains to the rest of your argument.
Because you said, so I said, what do you not understand? Okay, you said that, well, why can't the universe be an event? And I said, because it's a set. And I said, that's even, well, to be honest, it's even more dumber to say that a set is an event. And I tried to do an intuition pump, and I said, in the same sense, the number one isn't an event. That makes no sense. Would you say a set is not an event? And I said, you understand how the number one's an event? And he said, I think the number one's an event. But obviously, is the number one the same as kicking a ball, or an event like 9/11? You know, that's a disastrous event, or I don't know, the Super Bowl, right? A set of events, right? Again, an event is an instance in space-time, right? The number one isn't an event. I don't even know what that means.
the universe is not the same as a number.
That's no, it is in the
You're
sense.
defining the universe as that we're all the separate
No, look,
events, right? All the events that happen in the universe happen in the universe.
Okay, so the universe.
Just assuming that the universe never happened. Like,
I don't even know what you're talking about. No, that doesn't imply that. I've told you this a million times now, and you know I said this a million times. But you keep saying it is. I'm trying to explain to you why it is, and then every time I explain this to you, and you say, and I ask you, do you understand? And you say, well, I don't understand it for the reason that is the reason that which I'm explaining that you're wrong about, which is the reason. Well, obviously, if you're saying it's not a causal explanation or there's no cause for the universe, that implies it's eternal. And I said, no. Here's the explanation. I give you the explanation. I asked you, do you understand? And you said, well, I don't understand the explanation for the same reason.
There was no cause.
Yeah, no.
It doesn't mean you didn't have a cause.
No, there isn't a cause and no cause. That's a contradiction. I'm saying there is no cause. No cause at all. There's no cause and no cause, right? Just two no's. Not a no and a yes.
Never had a beginning.
No, that's what I keep explaining to you. Look, you keep saying you understand, but you really don't.
The universe existed forever. It never had a beginning.
Yeah, and I just explained to you how that's a no. I just said that's a no, and explained 20 times how that's a no. Now let's try and go back. See, this is why it's super hard to not, call you insults when you do stuff like this. Either you're a troll, or it's likely you're mentally ill. Maybe there's some other explanation, but these are the two strongest hypotheses going, I would think, based on prior probability. So, anyways.
Okay, and you're saying something being causal and there not being something to cause it, you've given no example for it. You said it's not relevant. It's extremely relevant because something understand what.
No. No one's saying that. Of course I'm not going to give. I don't even know what that means. That something's not causal and it has a cause? I don't even know what that means. That's a contradiction. To say something's not causal means.
It is causal, but doesn't have a cause.
Yeah, I didn't say that. I don't know who you're saying that. Do you think I'm saying that? Because if you think I'm saying that, that's the thing I said precisely, literally for an hour straight. No, repetitively. No, and explanations repetitively for why no. And then you just re-ask me the same question and how to keep giving the same explanation. Then you would ask for clarification to the explanation.
Specifically, it might have been something has a causal effect, but it doesn't mean something caused it.
Oh my God. I think I might need to become a Christian to pray to God that help me deal with people like this in conversation. Okay, I'm going to type in side chat. This is like the final straw. Hopefully, if not you visually looking at it doesn't help, then you're just a lost cause. And the inability for you to comprehend is so immaculate, I'm not going to be able to continue this conversation fruitfully, even though this conversation hasn't been fruitful, because it's just been an hour of me repeating the same thing. I'm not qualified to teach special education.
Don't repeat this. Clarify what you're saying.
Because you asked me, look, when you understand, you asked me, well, why is it the case that the universe can be explained by something but not a cause? Then I give the explanation, and you say, well, that doesn't make sense to me, that doesn't seem logical to me, because if something has no cause, that means it's eternal. And I said, no, that's false, here's the explanation. Then I gave you the explanation, you know what you respond to the explanation with? Well, the explanation doesn't make sense to me, because if something doesn't have a cause, that seems to imply the universe is eternal. I say, no, that's why I gave you the explanation for how that's not the case. You're just not tracking. No, every instance you're not tracking the explanation. Look, if I ask you if you're claiming now that my explanation doesn't refute that, this idea that the universe being non-causal implies it's eternal, go ahead and reproduce back what my explanation was. What is my explanation?
I'm trying to, but every time I do it,
you haven't done it once. I didn't even ask you once. What is my explanation?
Say it again, and I will say exactly right back to you, and how much logic it does not need. Please say it again.
Okay.
Put it in chat. That way we can see it in writing.
Bet. Oh, finally. It took forever.
Yeah, let's take a little break.
Okay. Yeah, so I typed inside chat. Read that over and tell me what you don't understand from that. It's very clear.
Okay.
Let me add something.
Okay, from your definition, it's implying that the universe is a set of events. That's the basic assumption. Not considering that the universe can be part of the events itself.
Yeah, that's analytically false that the universe is going to be contained in the set of events because the universe is the set of events.
Says who?
Says me. Says the standard semantic account of what a universe is. I don't know what it means to say the universe is an event.
Are we talking about events in a very general sense, like the events that happen in the universe, or events in a totality sort of sense, where the universe could have been a massive event?
Wait, can you repeat that? I don't know what you're asking.
It's basically debating, is the universe creation or not? That's effectively the debate.
No, the debate is if God exists. Can you just repeat what you're asking me?
Yes, in debating that God exists, you're debating what is the universe? Is the universe a thing of creation, or is it a thing that exists?
That doesn't matter.
Exist?
Well, yeah, that's what we're disputing, whether it's created or not.
It does matter. Yes. Mm-hmm. So my thing was, when we were talking about cause, if the universe, I know there's this whole definition on if something caused it or didn't cause it, I still have no idea, with any example of that.
Just read over what I said. In the chat, read the whole.
That there's an underlying assumption there.
What is the assumption?
That the universe is a set of events. That the universe has no connection to the actual events that take place in the universe.
No, of course there's a connection between the elements contained in a set. That's actually a contradiction to say there's no relationship between the elements contained in a set. What? Why are you saying you just keep saying dumb stuff? What does it mean to say there's a set with a containment of elements and there's no relationship between the set and the elements? That's just analytically false. The relation is a set element relation. That's a type of relationship between the relata. The relationship is that the elements are a set, or that the things named to be a set. I don't even know what is, what are you talking about? Underlying assumption? What underlying assumption again? That the universe isn't an event? The universe is space-time. Einstein says this, Kant says this, every contemporary philosopher who believes in Kantian metaphysics, every scientist and physicist believes the universe is space-time. Ever since Einstein made the breakthrough in special relativity, or general relativity and special relativity, the universe is now defined as space-time. Right? Space and time. Unified.
I guess effectively we're debating if something caused space-time or if space-time always existed.
No, we're not debating that. What I'm trying to explain to you is that I'm saying whatever explains the existence of the set of events is not a causal explanation, but you're just not comprehending that. And it's not even like, the most minimal point. This turns on nothing. But you're just making a small error that is actually significantly just wrong in metaphysics. That's like saying that the number 1 is the same as like Egyptian hieroglyphic, whatever. Sorry, I can't speak well. My parlance in like some areas is bad, but obviously there's an error there, right? But on the substance of the matter, whether or not you're classifying a number as a hieroglyphic or not, doesn't matter whether the argument for, let's say, mathematical realism matters, right? You can argue for mathematical realism, but I'm saying, oh, but you're just making an error in classifying a number as a hieroglyphic, whatever. I don't even understand. Wait, so again, if you didn't read what I said. Go read what I said in text 2 more times and tell me you still don't understand. It's super clear and just simplifies everything. Go ahead. Just reread what I said. Who's this other idiot in chat? Solipsist. I'm not a solipsist.
You are.
Solipsism is stupid. I've never seen anyone in my life ever defend solipsism. In fact, I would be inclined to saying self-defeating. I don't even know any contemporary literature. I don't know any contemporary philosophers who write in contemporary literature on any material in which they are actually committed to the view of solipsism. Every literature I've ever read in modern philosophy in which they write about solipsists, every writer I've ever read that talked about solipsism weren't themselves a solipsist. Solipsism is super dumb. What happened to the chat? It was deleted or something. Am I in the wrong chat?
Wait a minute.
I can't see what I typed.
No, if you scroll up, it's still there.
Okay. Well then, why are you on? I'm not a solipsist. Nothing I've said implies solipsism. When did I ever say I'm the only existing mind? What the hell? Like, nothing I've said should imply that I would believe such a stupid view. I'm an epistemic externalist, so obviously it's not possible I would ever be a solipsist. That actually entails contradiction. I believe that... Whatever, I'm not going to talk about that. So, did you reread what I said in chat?
Yeah.
You're denying worldviews exist? I never denied that. I'm critiquing his argument. What are you talking about? Telling people they have no true view? I've never said that either.
Okay.
Yeah, so you've read what I said.
When you say the universe, when you say it has a non-causal explanation, what exactly are you referring to? Are you referring to the thing that caused it, or
it's a non-eventual connection. Look, did you read what I said? What of what I said was not clear?
You're talking to a kindergartner.
Yeah, but everything I said in that text was just like illuminates everything. So if there's something that's super unclear still, I'm just gonna say that's issue on you, but I just want you to clarify to me what you need clarity on. What do you need clarity on?
What is a non-causal explanation? What is that? Specifically, what is that?
It says it in the... okay, I'm gonna just act like you read what I said. A non-causal explanation is an explanation in which doesn't deal with events. That's simple, right? Because a causal connection is a connection between events. So a non-causal explanation, we just put not in front of the definition. So a causal explanation is an explanation between events. A non-causal explanation is not a connection between events. So it's a type of explanation in which it's not a connection between events. That's like Jesus. Something still unclear? That's a goes into like 15 minutes. So what's unclear? Shouldn't be anything unclear now.
Yes, that might be more on me at this point.
Yeah, so what I said was unclear. I'm just trying to help you out. Literally nothing I said should be unclear. Look, again, I can send you SEP articles and IEP articles on the metaphysics of causation, so you can actually read on how causality works. Causality is just going to be a connection between events. Right? And if what we're saying is obviously the universe isn't an event, because it's a collection of events, and obviously you said, well, how can a set not be an event? Well, a set is a mathematical entity. Mathematical entities aren't events. It doesn't make sense to say, a parenthesis is, an event, right? Because a single parenthesis bracket is also a mathematical entity. Or even curly braces, right? Those are also, curly braces were created for calculus, right? A curly brace isn't an event. That doesn't make any sense, right? Any mathematical entity, right? Number 1, number 0, well, that's not a 0, but 0 isn't an event. That doesn't make any sense, right? Just like a set isn't an event. That's like someone's name, John. John is an event. What does that mean? Kicking a ball, flying a kite, driving a car, those are events. Right? And if we're talking about like particular events, like the 2017 Super Bowl is a particular event, the number 1's not an event. Oh, the other idiot here said the SCP article into causality for me. Okay. Yeah, so now we can move past the point, which I don't even know why we had to argue this for so long. This was like, I've literally, no offense to you, but, you know, I wouldn't be proud to hear this. I've literally talked with kids who were like 14 and comprehended this like pieces of cake. I've even tutored people in philosophy who I would assume were younger than you. I even teach a
And
rudimentary.
it's making underlying assumptions.
What assumption is it making?
It's basically talking about events in the context of like the universe and the contents in it. It's not referring to the universe being an event in relation to something else,
What,
to something
again,
outside of the universe.
what I'm asking you is what presupposition is it making?
It's not taking into account anything outside of the universe.
That's not a presupposition.
That connection, that
Not taking-
relationship.
Not taking something into account isn't a presupposition.
How would you word it?
That's like hasty assessment, not including all the relevant facts. Presupposition is like an unstated proposition.
Still, it's not taking it into account.
Okay, so what is it not taking into account that's relevant? What is it not taking into account? Hello? What did I not take into account?
Sorry, I'm just rereading it, trying to figure out how to articulate myself.
That's messed up. Alright, are you there, underdog?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is not being accounted for?
Oh, sweet, a schizo meltdown.
What am I not taking into account? Look, is there anything that I'm not taking into account because you're making that claim? There's obviously nothing. Alright, but you want to claim there is. What is not being taken into account? Underdog.
Okay, when you're talking about events, you're talking about things inside of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
It's an underlying implication that the universe was not an event, it was already presupposed.
It's not an event by definition. An event is an instance
By
in...
definition.
No. Okay, so do you disagree that all philosophers and all scientists agree the definition of the universe is the unification of space and time? Like, do you just disagree with basic science? Einstein holds this view? No, I don't think you do.
Yes, I agree in context.
Okay, so an event is an instance in space and time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the universe is space-time. It doesn't make sense to say space-time is an instance in space-time. What does that mean? Of course, the universe isn't an event. It's not contained in itself. What does it mean? That's like saying a box is contained in itself. What does that mean? Yeah, so if all we mean by universe is space-time, an event is a particular pinpoint of space-time, of course the universe isn't an event. Because the universe isn't a particular instance of space-time. The universe is all of space-time. All of space-time isn't an event. An event is a particular instance of space-time. If you mean all events, then all events would be the universe. Right, because all events would imply all instances of space and time. And yeah, all events is space-time. Like, because it's all instances of space-time. Of course, all instances of space-time is all of space-time, therefore the universe. Now do you understand? I mean, this is what I've been saying, again, since the outset. You understand how now the universe is an event? Because the universe isn't an instance of itself? Like, because an instance of itself is a part of itself. Yeah, so that's like saying I have a dog, and I say one blade of its hair is identical to the dog. Of course, that's false. Of course, if what we mean by a part of the dog is not the whole, then of course the blade of grass isn't, the blade of hair of the dog or blade of fur isn't identical to the dog itself. The dog is the conglomerate of all its facets, all the parts of the dog accumulated and augmented to one entity. Yeah, so obviously an event isn't the universe. The universe isn't an event. That just entails contradiction. Okay, great. So now do you understand finally? Since that was the confusing part, even though I explained this 20 times, I don't even know how I made it now illuminating when I just literally said the same thing. But do you understand now how there can't be causal connection for the universe? Like, you can say something explains the existence of the universe, right? And you can say the universe is not eternal, right? Because it's not eternal because it doesn't exist forever. Because there was one point in which something created it. Right? So you can say the universe is explained, the existence of the universe is explained by something else. All I was telling you is merely the fact the type of explanation is not causal. Do you understand that now?
Okay.
Okay, yeah, there's no issue in this. This was the biggest waste of time, probably because you thought you were getting trapped or something stupid like that. I honestly think you were playing like you didn't understand what I was saying, because literally,
No,
no
I
joke.
wasn't playing. You just weren't making all the sense.
Well, I only repeated myself and wrote it out in text. That was the issue, not writing out. Other than that, I've literally said that exact same thing for an hour straight. Right? I've talked with middle schoolers who haven't had the same issue. But yeah, so now that you understand that the universe isn't going to be a causal explanation, I just want to get clear. What is the argument that the existence of the universe is explained by something else? Right? Because the only reason this came up is because I said, because you said there's a cause for the universe, and I said, no, there's not. I can say, and then I said, you can say there's an explanation for the existence of the universe, just not a cause. And you're like, no, but obviously, if something explains the universe, that implies there's a cause for it. Right? Now I explain how that's false. Right? You can have an explanation that's non-causal. So now, do you have an argument that something explains the existence of the universe?
Okay, I thought we were on the same page. Now I don't think we are.
Okay, what now are you lost on?
Because I thought you were saying, like, basically, whatever caused the explanation, like, whatever caused the end of the universe, like, whatever explanation you want to give it, it's different, right? That's how I was just interpreting. Now you're saying, okay, how can you explain how there was ever a cause that, or something that made the universe, like, begin?
No cause. There's no cause. I'm saying what is the argument something explains the existence?
Here I asked, how has the universe had a beginning with no cause?
Mm-hmm.
That's my question.
We just went over that. Just it having an explanation and the type of explanation not being classified as causal. For clarity, a causal explanation is an explanation that is contained in the universe. Right? Like saying the bandage caused
a reason.
Yes, no,
that's a better way to say it.
An explanation.
The beginning of the universe had a reason. There's a reason there was a beginning to the universe.
If all you mean by reason, no, the best way would just to say an explanation for its existence. Like it's explained.
The universe.
Yeah. So, do you have an argument that the universe is explained by some further fact for its existence? If not, that's fine. We can maybe talk like a week or two after when you maybe hopefully read into philosophy. I can send you multiple sources on a lot of useful things because, to be honest, you need it. But I can very useful material that you can read up on and study. So maybe next time you argue with an atheist or anyone, you actually know how to argue better and understand formal argumentation. How dialectically speaking, certain things are going to be entailed by certain metaphysical commitments. Obviously, you're going to have to get clear on the distinction between science and philosophy because that was one of the prominent issues in this conversation when you thought the Big Bang was a scientific theory that explained a metaphysical fact, which makes no sense and stuff like that. So if you don't have an argument, that's fine. Huh?
I never said that.
Well, you said that the Big Bang explains.
I alluded to the Big Bang as the beginning.
No, you said at first. You said the beginning
was.
No, at first you said the beginning of its existence.
I never tried anything deeper than that.
No, you did. You said the beginning of the existence of the universe. You did say that. And I said no. Look, we can say there's a sense in which the universe has a beginning, but not a beginning to its existence.
A beginning is a beginning.
Well, yeah, of course, a beginning is a beginning.
When is a beginning not a beginning?
No one said that a beginning isn't a beginning.
But that's what you're conveying.
No, I said a beginning is different to saying that X has a beginning is different from saying X has a beginning to its existence. Right, and I explained that. I said there's a sense in which the physicists would agree that the universe has a beginning, right, which is going to be the first instance of change, right, and before the singularity, there is no before the singularity. The only state of the universe was the singularity. So the first instance of time, which is just what we mean by time, is the measurement of change.
So are you saying that the Big Bang was the beginning of the universe as we know it, and that the universe was like its own separate thing before it?
Before what?
I don't understand the claim now.
It's the same claim. I don't know what you mean by before it. All I'm saying is that the Big Bang explains the expansion of the universe.
The beginning of the universe as we know it today, where it's expanding and we see planets and stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
So what I was
before that point, science can't prove, and the universe could have. I mean, I know you're not saying this, but logically we can deduce this.
Your argument was that something explains the existence of the universe, right? And then your reason was the Big Bang, but I explained to you the Big Bang doesn't explain the existence. Doesn't explain the existence of the universe. It explains the singularity expanding.
I never said the Big Bang explains the existence of the universe.
You did when you made the claim that the Big Bang explains the beginning of the universe's existence, which you did say.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe I just conveyed it wrong, or something was misinterpreted. I don't know. I never made that claim. I believe the Big Bang is.
No, you did verbatim. I didn't have it recorded, but that's fine. I mean, whatever. If all you meant to say.
I'm sorry if I did.
Okay.
What I meant to say, I was saying science.
Well, that wouldn't support your argument then, because if your argument, because the initial argument you gave was a column that everything that begins to exist has a cause, the universe begins to exist, therefore the universe has a cause. And I said, what's the argument for P2? The universe has a beginning to its existence. And then you said the Big Bang is evidence for the beginning of the existence of the universe, and that's when I said that's false, because the Big Bang doesn't talk about the beginning of the existence of the universe. It says the first moment of the universe, in the sense of which the first instance of change from when the singularity changed to the current expansive universe as we know it. Right? It doesn't talk about the universe.
Would be the beginning of the universe as we know it.
But that wouldn't be the beginning of the existence of the universe. No.
That the universe existed in some point beforehand. That's logically that's the point you're making.
No, look, saying the universe has a first moment is different from saying the universe has a beginning to its existence.
Okay, explain to me the difference.
Yeah. So when we talk about there being a first moment, that just means the first instance in which change is enacted, which would be from the Big Bang, in which the universe enters cosmic inflation. But saying the universe has a beginning means that there's a point in which the universe doesn't exist, then the universe does exist. But the Big Bang doesn't talk about the singularity not existing. The Big Bang talks about how the singularity expands. It doesn't talk about before the singularity. Science isn't even committed to the view there's a before the Big Bang. That's a metaphysical commitment, and I told you that several times. Right? In your argument, the premise to your argument was saying the universe has a beginning to its existence. Meaning there's a first moment in which the universe had began to exist. Meaning there's a moment prior when the universe had not existed. And then you wanted to say there's a cause for that fact. The fact that the universe had a beginning to existence. Something explains why the universe came into existence. I said, no, the Big Bang doesn't talk about anything about the universe coming into existence. It just talks about how it changed form, right? Changed from the form of a singularity to an infinitely expansive universe. That doesn't, obviously, its changing form doesn't talk about it beginning to exist, because in its initial form, the singularity, it still existed.
So something before it had to have had existed.
Well, that's your
Something
claim.
you had to put that thing in place, or it had to have existed forever. It didn't have a time where it started existing that was forever.
I don't know. Are you just telling me that?
Before the Big Bang, logically.
Okay, you're saying it existed eternally, or it's the case that it didn't exist eternally?
It either had to have been created or existed eternally. Something had to have made that singularity.
And by eternally, you just mean in all moments?
Could happen.
Wait, what do you mean by eternally here?
Yes, every moment. Every moment. It wasn't created.
But a moment
existed.
Wait,
every point
you understand the issue there, right? A moment. By moment, you mean a moment of time, right?
I mean, it wasn't created. It's always existed.
But always implies like a temporal notion. What do you mean by always? In every point in time?
Yes, something outside of time.
No, yeah.
Again,
Wait. So you understand the universe is space and time. So in any instance of which time exists, the universe exists too. So yeah, of course, the universe
was created.
That means, look, if all you mean by being eternal is that it exists in every moment of time, even if God created the universe, there would still be an eternal universe. Because if what you mean by eternal universe is every instance of time the universe exists, time is a property of the universe. So at every moment of which the universe exists, of course, its properties are going to exist, because the properties constitute the existence of the universe itself. So, of course, every moment of time implies every moment of the universe.
Eternally is even out of space-time, because time needs a beginning. Or you can't get
That's a contradiction. Yeah, that's a contradiction. That's a contradiction. You know, beginning is a temporal notion, right? So you're saying time needs a temporal quality. That doesn't make any sense. Beginning is a temporal quality. You don't assign time its own quality. That's like saying red needs to be a color. Red is a color. I don't know what you mean. Red doesn't need redness. Like, I don't know. You're just saying gibberish. The time needs a beginning. Beginning is a property of time. Beginning is the first instance of which something is in time, or the first instance of change in time. Without time, there can't be a beginning. There's no such thing as timeless beginningness. That doesn't make any sense.
Time is the measurement of that.
Beginning, you can't have a beginning outside of time. But look,
exactly.
So there's no such thing as a beginning to time. Because saying beginning of time presupposes time. Because beginning is a property of time. It's a temporal notion. You're like confused on too many things. But yeah, I sent you that or the other dude here. You can see in the site, you put SCP, Metaphysics on Causation. You can read that. You could probably also read Metaphysics of the Time. There's many things I would suggest you read, to be honest. I'm not going to lie, no hate, but you're kind of not as intelligent as even the average person. Like, I've talked with so much more competent people who are even, like, in my eyes, super dumb, and I don't know, it's just like, you really don't track well, and, like, simple concepts are hard to understand. But look, yeah, obviously, like, I don't even know how you don't see it yourself. You're saying a beginning to time, when beginning is a temporal notion. So of course, beginning is a property of time. So time needs a property of time. Time already has a property of time. Time is time. It's a tautology. Like, time is time. It's identical to itself. But yeah, whatever. Yeah, you should probably read into philosophy. That would be very much successful, especially when you encounter other people or even other theologians. Like, everything, all your beliefs would be coherent and well grounded after you read philosophy. Like, everything, because right now you're just like very lost. Also, if you want, you should probably like read up on basic physics. I'm not interested in physics, but you do have some misconceptions. Maybe if you just read philosophy of science, you'll probably clear up those misconceptions. But I gotta go anyways. It's late for me, and I gotta wake up in the morning. So peace.